Tonight we're taking a quiet journey through one of the most colorful decades in recent history. From the music to the moments, the 90s had a rhythm all of its own. Settle in, close your eyes, and let the world slow down around you. Welcome to Sleep Library, where the past feels warm and rest comes easy. The 1990s began with a burst of color and optimism. Bright neon hues dominated fashion, capturing the youthful energy of the era. Teens and young adults embraced these vivid shades in their clothing, from oversized t-shirts to windbreakers. The streets were alive with electric pinks, greens, and blues, reflecting a new era of self-expression and creativity. The Cold War's conclusion in 1991 brought a wave of hope. The world seemed to breathe a collective sigh of relief, and the promise of peace opened doors to new possibilities. This shift influenced American culture, encouraging exploration and innovation. People looked forward to a future unburdened by the tensions of the past. Television also played a significant role in shaping the cultural landscape. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air debuted in 1990, offering a fresh perspective on family and identity. The show's humor and heart resonated with audiences, introducing new narratives that reflected the evolving social dynamics. It became a cultural touchstone, influencing fashion and language. Music was undergoing its own transformation. The grunge movement began to take hold, with bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam emerging from Seattle. Their sound was raw and authentic, a departure from the polished pop of the previous decade. Grunge music spoke to a generation searching for authenticity and meaning. The flannel-clad musicians became icons of a new musical era. Alternative rock gained momentum, offering a diverse range of sounds and styles. Bands like REM and Red Hot Chili Peppers pushed boundaries, blending genres and challenging norms. Their success paved the way for future artists, expanding the musical landscape and providing a platform for experimentation. The early 90s also saw a shift in media consumption. Cable television expanded, offering more channels and choices. MTV continued to influence youth culture, showcasing music videos and launching new shows that captured the spirit of the times. The network became a cultural barometer, reflecting and shaping trends in fashion, music, and attitudes. In fashion, minimalism began to emerge alongside the vibrant colors. Designers like Calvin Klein and Donna Karan emphasized clean lines and simplicity. This contrast highlighted the decade's diverse fashion landscape, where bold and understated styles coexisted. People experimented with their looks, mixing and matching elements to express individuality. The economy was on an upswing, contributing to a sense of prosperity and possibility. Consumer confidence grew, and technological advancements promised to reshape daily life. Personal computers became more accessible, hinting at the digital revolution that lay ahead. This period of growth and change set the stage for the technological boom of the late 90s. The early 90s were a time of cultural reset. Society was redefining itself, embracing new ideas and discarding old constraints. The decade began with a sense of renewal, driven by a desire for progress and innovation. This spirit of change permeated every aspect of life, from fashion and music to media and technology. As the 90s unfolded, the seeds planted in those early years would grow and evolve. The cultural shifts of 1990 set the tone for a decade of transformation and discovery. The vibrant colors and hopeful outlook defined an era, leaving a lasting impact on the generations that followed. Saturday mornings in the 1990s were a special ritual for many American families. Kids would wake up early, eager to catch their favorite cartoons. The living room became the heart of the home, where children, often still in their pajamas, gathered around the television. This was a time when animated adventures ruled the airwaves, creating lasting memories and shared experiences. The television lineup was filled with iconic shows. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles brought the action-packed lives of 4 mutant turtles to screens, capturing the imaginations of young viewers. The Turtles' love for pizza and their battles against villains became a staple of Saturday mornings. DuckTales was another favorite, taking children on thrilling escapades with Scrooge McDuck and his nephews. The catchy theme song became instantly recognizable, and the show's adventurous spirit resonated with audiences. Breakfast was an essential part of the Saturday morning routine. Sugary cereals like Lucky Charms and Cinnamon Toast Crunch were the go-to choices for many kids. The colorful marshmallows in Lucky Charms and the cinnamon swirls in Cinnamon Toast Crunch added a fun and delicious element to the morning. These cereals became synonymous with the weekend ritual, as children enjoyed their bowls while watching their favorite cartoons. The tradition of Saturday morning cartoons fostered a sense of community within families. Parents and siblings would often join in, creating a shared cultural experience. The laughter and excitement of the shows brought families together, offering a break from the hectic pace of the week. It was a time when the outside world faded away, and the focus was on the colorful characters and stories unfolding on the screen. Imaginative play often followed the morning's viewing. Inspired by the characters and adventures they had just watched, children would reenact scenes or create new stories. Action figures and toys related to the cartoons became popular playthings, allowing kids to bring their favorite shows to life. This imaginative play extended the joy of Saturday mornings throughout the day. As the decade progressed, the landscape of Saturday morning television began to change. The late 1990s saw a decline in the popularity of these cartoon blocks. The rise of cable networks like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon offered children access to cartoons at any time, reducing the uniqueness of Saturday mornings. The convenience of on-demand viewing and the introduction of new media formats contributed to this shift. Despite these changes, the legacy of Saturday morning cartoons in the 1990s remains strong. The shows from this era continue to hold a special place in the hearts of those who grew up watching them. They represent a time of innocence and joy, where the simple act of watching cartoons with family created cherished memories. The impact of Saturday morning cartoons extended beyond entertainment. They influenced pop culture, inspiring merchandise, movies, and video games. The characters became cultural icons, shaping the interests and imaginations of a generation. Even as viewing habits evolved, the spirit of Saturday mornings in the 1990s lives on through the nostalgia and fond memories of those who experienced it. In the 1990s, movie rental stores became a central part of weekend plans for many families. These stores offered a vast selection of films, allowing people to enjoy a cinematic experience without leaving their homes. The process of renting a movie involved walking through aisles filled with VHS tapes, each promising a different adventure or story. The shelves were lined with colorful covers, each vying for attention. Customers would often spend time browsing, picking up tapes to read the back cover descriptions before making a selection. This ritual was as much a part of the experience as watching the movie itself. Blockbuster Video was a major player in the movie rental scene. It opened its first store in 1985 and expanded rapidly throughout the 1990s. By the end of the decade, Blockbuster had become a household name, with stores in nearly every neighborhood. The familiar blue and yellow sign was a beacon for movie lovers looking for the latest releases or classic favorites. Blockbuster's success was due in part to its wide selection and convenient locations, which made it easy for families to find something for everyone. The cost of renting a VHS tape was relatively affordable, with prices averaging around $3.50 in the late 1990s. This made it an attractive option for families looking to enjoy a movie night without the expense of going to a theater. Renting a movie also allowed for the comfort and convenience of watching at home, where viewers could pause the film for snacks or bathroom breaks. Popular films of the era, such as Titanic and Jurassic Park, were frequently rented, often requiring customers to reserve a copy in advance due to high demand. These blockbusters drew large audiences, and renting offered a way to experience these cinematic events without the crowds. The appeal of having access to such films at home contributed to the decline in traditional cinema attendance during this period. Rewinding tapes was a necessary part of the rental process. After watching a movie, it was considered courteous to rewind the tape before returning it. Many rental stores had signs reminding customers to be kind, rewind, and failing to do so could result in a small fee. This practice became a routine for renters, adding a sense of responsibility to the otherwise leisurely activity. The experience of renting movies extended beyond just watching them. It was a social activity that often involved family discussions about which film to choose. Parents and children would negotiate over genres, or take turns picking the movie for the week. This collaborative decision-making process was a bonding experience, creating shared memories and traditions. As the decade progressed, the home video market continued to grow, with more people opting for the convenience of renting over going to the theater. This shift in viewing habits marked a significant change in how people consumed entertainment. The rise of rental stores like Blockbuster played a crucial role in this transition, offering a new way to enjoy films. Movie rentals also sparked an interest in film appreciation. With access to a wide range of genres and titles, viewers could explore different types of storytelling and filmmaking. This exposure broadened tastes and introduced audiences to films they might not have seen otherwise. The rental store became a place of discovery, where customers could find hidden gems alongside popular hits. The era of VHS rentals in the 1990s left a lasting impact on how people engage with movies. It was a time when the simple act of choosing a film from a shelf could lead to an evening of entertainment and connection. The ritual of renting, watching, and rewinding tapes became a cherished part of the weekend routine for many families. Nickelodeon became a powerhouse of children's entertainment in the 1990s. The network was known for its bold programming and unique style. It captured the imaginations of young audiences across the United States. The channel's shows were full of humor, creativity, and a sense of adventure that resonated with kids. One of the most popular shows on Nickelodeon was Double Dare. This game show combined trivia questions with messy physical challenges. Contestants often found themselves covered in green slime, a signature element of the network. The slime became an iconic symbol of Nickelodeon. It was used in many of the channel's shows and events. Kids loved watching contestants get slimed. It added an element of unpredictability and fun. Another hit show was All That. It was a sketch comedy series featuring a cast of talented young actors. The show included a mix of original sketches, musical performances, and recurring characters. It was often compared to Saturday Night Live, but for a younger audience. All That introduced viewers to future stars like Kenan Thompson and Amanda Bynes. The show's humor and energy made it a staple of Nickelodeon's lineup. Nickelodeon's programming was not limited to game shows and sketch comedy. The network also introduced Nicktoons, a lineup of animated series that became classics. Shows like Rugrats and Hey Arnold were part of this collection. Rugrats followed the adventures of a group of babies, exploring the world from their perspective. Hey Arnold focused on a city-dwelling boy with a football-shaped head and his diverse group of friends. These shows were known for their unique animation styles and relatable stories. The Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards became an annual event celebrating children's favorites in entertainment. The awards show featured live performances, celebrity appearances, and of course, slime. Kids voted for their favorite movies, TV shows, and music acts. The event was a chance for young audiences to have their voices heard. It highlighted the network's commitment to interactive and inclusive programming. Nickelodeon's approach to television was innovative. Many of its shows included interactive elements that encouraged viewer participation. Programs like Legends of the Hidden Temple combined adventure with puzzles, allowing kids at home to feel like they were part of the action. This interactive style set Nickelodeon apart from other networks. It created a sense of community among viewers. The network's influence extended beyond television. Nickelodeon-branded merchandise, from t-shirts to toys, became popular with fans. The channel also launched a magazine, providing behind-the-scenes looks at favorite shows and interviews with stars. Nickelodeon's reach was vast, and its impact on children's culture was significant. Nickelodeon's success in the 1990s was due in part to its willingness to take risks. The network was not afraid to push boundaries and explore new ideas. Its programming was fresh and exciting, capturing the spirit of the decade. The channel's shows became a defining aspect of childhood for many who grew up during this time. The legacy of Nickelodeon's golden era continues to influence children's entertainment today. Many of the shows from this period remain beloved by fans. They are often revisited through reruns and streaming services. The network's commitment to creativity and fun left a lasting mark on the industry. Nickelodeon in the 1990s was more than just a TV channel. It was a cultural phenomenon that shaped a generation. The 1990s saw the rise of toys that captured the imaginations of children and sparked widespread trends. Tamagotchis and Furbies were at the forefront, representing the tech-savvy nature of the decade's playthings. These toys were not just about entertainment, they fostered social interactions among peers. Tamagotchis, released in 1996, quickly became a global sensation. These small, egg-shaped devices housed a digital pet that required regular attention. Owners needed to feed, play with, and clean up after their virtual creatures. The goal was to keep the pet alive and happy. The simplicity of the device, combined with the responsibility it entailed, made Tamagotchis a hit among kids. They carried their digital pets everywhere, often clipped to backpacks or belt loops. The need to care for these pets sparked conversations among friends who shared tips and stories about their experiences. Furbies entered the scene in 1998, selling over 14 million units in their first year. These furry, owl-like creatures could talk and interact with their owners. Furbies had a range of sensors that allowed them to respond to touch, sound, and light. They spoke their own language, Furbish, but gradually learned English phrases. This learning process fascinated children, who enjoyed teaching their Furbies new words. The interactive nature of Furbies encouraged kids to engage with them regularly. The toys became a common topic of conversation at school and during playdates. Another significant trend was the rise of Beanie Babies. These small plush toys became a collector's dream. Each Beanie Baby had a unique name and personality, often detailed on a tag attached to the toy. The limited production runs and retirement of certain models created a sense of urgency among collectors. Kids and adults alike hunted for rare Beanie Babies, hoping to complete their collections or find valuable pieces. The craze even led to price guides and trading events, further fueling the phenomenon. POGs also captured the attention of children in the 90s. This game involved collectible discs, often featuring colorful designs or popular characters. Players would stack their POGs and use a heavier disc, called a slammer, to try to flip them over. The game became a playground staple, with kids trading and competing for the best collections. POGs were inexpensive and easy to carry, making them accessible to a wide audience. The competitive nature of the game combined with the allure of collecting made POGs a memorable fad. The 90s were a time of innovation in the toy industry. Interactive toys encouraged nurturing play, allowing kids to engage with their toys in new ways. Tamagotchis, Furbies, Beanie Babies, and POGs each offered unique experiences that went beyond mere play. They fostered social interactions, sparked conversations, and created communities of enthusiasts. These toys left a lasting impact on those who grew up during this era, shaping the way children interacted with each other and their playthings. In the 1990s, school supplies became more than just tools for learning. They were a way for students to express themselves. Trapper Keepers in particular stood out. These colorful binders, first introduced in 1983, became a must-have item by the 90s. They featured vibrant designs and popular characters. Students loved them for their practicality and style. The Velcro flap and multiple pockets made organizing schoolwork easy. Kids often decorated their Trapper Keepers with stickers, showcasing their favorite bands or TV shows. Pencil boxes also became a canvas for creativity. They came in various shapes, sizes, and colors. Some were simple plastic cases, while others had multiple compartments and built-in sharpeners. Students personalized them with stickers and doodles. The pencil box was a staple in every backpack, keeping pencils, erasers, and other essentials in one place. The introduction of gel pens and mechanical pencils changed the way students wrote. Gel pens offered smooth writing and came in a rainbow of colors. Mechanical pencils eliminated the need for sharpening, making them a popular choice. Classrooms in the 90s were a mix of order and chaos. The rise of fidget toys contributed to the lively atmosphere. Items like slap bracelets and yo-yos were common distractions. Teachers often confiscated these toys, only for them to reappear the next day. Despite the chaos, these items provided a way for students to channel their energy. They also became a means of social interaction, with students trading or showing off their latest gadgets. School supply shopping became an event in itself. Families would head to stores with lists in hand, ready to stock up on the latest trends. The aisles were filled with colorful notebooks, folders, and writing tools. It was a time for students to choose items that reflected their personalities. Parents often saw it as a chance to bond with their children, discussing preferences and needs. The excitement of new supplies made the start of the school year feel special. The 90s also saw a shift in classroom technology. Overhead projectors and chalkboards were still common, but computers began making their way into schools. This change brought a new set of supplies, like floppy disks and computer paper. Students learned to balance traditional tools with emerging technology. Typing classes became part of the curriculum, emphasizing the importance of digital skills. Backpacks became essential for carrying all these supplies. They came in various styles, from simple designs to those featuring popular cartoons or sports teams. The choice of backpack was another way for students to express themselves. A well-packed backpack was a source of pride, holding everything needed for a day at school. In the 90s, school supplies were more than just functional items. They were a reflection of individuality and a way to navigate the social dynamics of school. From trapper keepers to gel pens, each item had its place in the daily routine of students. The blend of organization and chaos in classrooms mirrored the vibrant and ever-changing culture of the decade. Playgrounds in the 90s were bustling with activity and excitement. They were spaces where kids could let loose, run around, and engage in a variety of games. POGs, small cardboard discs with colorful designs, became a playground staple. Kids would stack them and use a heavier disc called a slammer to try to flip them over. Whoever flipped the most got to keep them. This simple game turned into serious competitions, with kids bringing their collections to school to challenge friends. The thrill of winning a new POG was unmatched, and playgrounds often buzzed with the sounds of slammers hitting the ground. Slap bracelets were another playground craze. These flexible bands covered in fabric would snap around the wrist with a satisfying click. They came in endless patterns and colors, making them a favorite accessory. Kids traded them, showed off their collections, and sometimes wore multiple bracelets at once. The tactile sensation of snapping them on and off added to their appeal. Teachers sometimes frowned upon their use in class, but on the playground, they were a hit. Tetherball was a different kind of playground game, one that required skill and agility. A ball attached to a rope would swing around a metal pole, and players took turns hitting it, trying to wind it completely around the pole in their direction. Matches could get intense, with kids lining up for a chance to play. It was a game of strategy and strength, and winning brought a sense of pride. Tetherball courts became gathering spots, where rivalries were born and resolved. Jump rope games also filled the playground with energy. Whether it was single ropes or double dutch, jumping rope was a popular activity. Kids chanted rhymes as they jumped, creating a rhythmic backdrop to their play. The challenge of mastering new tricks kept kids engaged, and jump rope competitions were common. It was a game that could be played solo or in groups, making it a versatile playground favorite. Foursquare was another staple of playground culture. This game involved a large square divided into 4 smaller squares, with each player occupying one. The goal was to bounce a ball into another player's square without them being able to return it. Simple yet competitive, Foursquare was easy to set up and drew large groups of players. The game encouraged quick reflexes and strategic thinking, and it was common to see kids debating over rules and boundaries. Beyond the games, playgrounds were social hubs. They were places where friendships were formed and tested. Kids learned to negotiate, take turns, and resolve conflicts. The playground was a microcosm of childhood society, with its own rules and hierarchies. Kids who excelled at certain games gained status, while new trends spread quickly through word of mouth. The sights and sounds of the playground were a sensory delight. The clatter of POGs, the snap of slap bracelets, the thud of a tetherball, and the rhythmic chants of jump rope filled the air. Brightly colored equipment stood against the backdrop of grass and asphalt, inviting kids to climb, swing, and explore. The playground was a place of freedom and imagination, where the worries of the classroom faded away. In the 90s, playgrounds were more than just places to play. They were vibrant communities where kids could express themselves, compete, and connect. From the games they played to the friendships they formed, playgrounds were an essential part of childhood. After-school hours in the 90s were often spent in front of the television. This was a time when kids could unwind after a day at school. They would gather in living rooms, snack in hand, ready to escape into the worlds of their favorite shows. Networks like PBS and Disney Channel offered a lineup that was both entertaining and educational. These shows became a staple of after-school routines. PBS was known for its educational programming. Arthur was a favorite among many. This animated show followed the adventures of an aardvark named Arthur Reed and his friends. Each episode tackled everyday issues like friendship and honesty. The show's gentle humor and relatable characters made it appealing to kids and parents alike. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was another beloved PBS program. Fred Rogers, with his calm demeanor, taught children about kindness, empathy, and understanding. His neighborhood was a place where kids felt safe and valued. Disney Channel offered a different kind of magic. Animated series like DuckTales and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers were full of adventure and humor. DuckTales followed the wealthy Scrooge McDuck and his nephews on treasure hunts around the world. The catchy theme song was hard to forget. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers featured the two chipmunks as they solved crimes with their team. These shows captured the imagination of young viewers, transporting them to fantastical worlds. Block scheduling became a common practice, allowing children to know exactly when their favorite shows would air. This consistency was important. It helped build anticipation and made viewing a regular part of daily life. Kids would rush home, knowing they had a set time to catch the latest episode. The content of these shows often included moral lessons and life skills. Cartoons weren't just about entertainment. They taught kids about problem-solving, teamwork, and perseverance. Characters faced challenges and learned valuable lessons along the way. This blend of fun and learning made after-school TV a positive influence. VHS tapes played a significant role during this time. Families would record episodes to watch later. This allowed kids to revisit their favorite moments whenever they wanted. Tapes were rewound and replayed, often wearing out from frequent use. The ability to rewatch episodes added to the enjoyment and helped solidify the stories and characters in the minds of young viewers. After-school television in the 90s was more than just a pastime. It was a chance for kids to relax and learn. The shows they watched left a lasting impact. They shaped the way children viewed the world and interacted with others. Whether through the gentle teachings of Mr. Rogers or the adventurous exploits of Scrooge McDuck, after-school TV was a cherished part of childhood. In the 90s, school book fairs were a highlight for many students. These events transformed gymnasiums and libraries into bustling marketplaces of imagination. Rows of tables showcased colorful covers and enticing titles. The smell of fresh paper filled the air as kids browsed through stacks of books. Each fair was a chance to discover new stories and characters. Goosebumps by R.L. Stein was a standout series during this time. Released in 1992, it quickly became a favorite among young readers. Each book in the series offered a thrilling tale filled with suspense and unexpected twists. The stories were just scary enough to be exciting without being too frightening. This balance made Goosebumps a go-to choice for kids looking for a good scare. Animorphs, launched in 1996, also captured the imaginations of middle-grade readers. The series followed a group of teenagers who could transform into animals. This unique premise combined science fiction with adventure, appealing to kids fascinated by the idea of morphing into different creatures. The books tackled themes of friendship and courage, resonating with young audiences. Book fairs often featured interactive displays and activities. Some fairs included visits from authors who would sign books and talk about their writing process. These interactions provided a deeper connection to the stories and inspired budding writers. Kids left the fairs with bags full of new books, eager to dive into their latest finds. Sticker sheets were another popular item at book fairs. These sheets offered a variety of designs, from glittery stars to cartoon characters. Children used them to decorate notebooks, pencil cases, and other personal items. Stickers became a way for kids to express their personalities and interests. Collecting and trading stickers added an element of fun to the book fair experience. Bedtime stories were an essential part of the nightly routine for many families. Classic fairy tales and contemporary favorites filled the pages of storybooks read before sleep. Parents and children snuggled together, sharing tales of adventure and wonder. These stories not only entertained but also taught valuable lessons about kindness and bravery. Reading in the 90s was more than just a hobby. It was a gateway to new worlds and ideas. Book fairs played a crucial role in fostering a love for literature among children. The excitement of picking out a new book, the thrill of a Goosebumps scare, or the adventure of an Animorphs transformation all contributed to a vibrant reading culture. The impact of these experiences extended beyond the pages. They encouraged creativity and imagination. Kids who grew up with these stories often carried their love of reading into adulthood. The 90s were a time when books were not just read but cherished. They were shared among friends, discussed in classrooms, and remembered fondly. Shopping malls in the 90s were bustling centers of activity. They offered a mix of shopping, dining, and entertainment that drew in crowds of teenagers and families. These malls became weekend destinations, where people spent hours exploring stores and enjoying the lively atmosphere. The opening of the Mall of America in 1992 highlighted the era's mall culture. With its vast size and variety of attractions, it became a symbol of the shopping mall experience. Food courts were essential to the mall experience. They provided a wide array of dining options, catering to different tastes. Popular chains like Orange Julius and Sparrow became staples, offering quick and satisfying meals. The food court was more than just a place to eat. It was a social hub where friends gathered to chat and families took a break from shopping. The aroma of freshly baked pretzels and sizzling pizza filled the air, creating an inviting environment. Window shopping was a favorite pastime for many mall-goers. People strolled through the corridors, admiring displays and dreaming of future purchases. It was a way to experience the latest fashion trends and discover new products without spending a dime. For teenagers, window shopping was a social activity. They walked in groups, laughing and pointing out items they liked. It was a way to bond and share interests. Photo booths added an element of fun to mall visits. These small enclosed spaces offered a chance to capture moments with friends. The instant prints became cherished keepsakes, often tucked into wallets or pinned to bedroom walls. The excitement of squeezing into a booth, making silly faces, and waiting for the photos to develop was a highlight of many mall trips. Photo strips served as tangible memories of carefree days spent with friends. The rise of specialty stores in malls catered to niche interests. Hot Topic emerged as a destination for alternative fashion and music-related merchandise. Its edgy vibe and unique offerings attracted those looking for something different. The Body Shop, known for its natural and ethical beauty products, appealed to environmentally conscious shoppers. These stores added diversity to the shopping experience, offering products that couldn't be found in traditional department stores. Malls also hosted various events and promotions to attract visitors. Fashion shows, live performances, and holiday celebrations were common occurrences. These events created a sense of community and excitement, drawing even larger crowds. Seasonal decorations transformed the mall into a festive wonderland, enhancing the shopping experience. For many, the mall was more than just a place to shop. It was a backdrop for social interactions and personal milestones. First dates, birthday outings, and family gatherings often took place within its walls. The mall provided a safe and accessible environment for teenagers to meet up with friends and enjoy some independence. It was a space where memories were made and shared. The 90s mall culture reflected broader societal trends. It highlighted the importance of consumerism and the role of shopping as a leisure activity. Malls became symbols of economic prosperity and cultural exchange. They offered a microcosm of society where people from different backgrounds came together to shop, eat, and socialize. The 90s were a time when sleepovers became a cherished tradition among kids and teens. These gatherings were all about fun, food, and friendship. The excitement began as soon as the invitations were sent out. Friends eagerly awaited the chance to stay up late, eat pizza, and watch movies. The anticipation built as the day of the sleepover approached. Pizza was a staple at these events. Domino's and Pizza Hut were popular choices, with their delivery boxes becoming a familiar sight. The smell of melted cheese and pepperoni filled the air as everyone gathered around to grab a slice. Eating pizza on the living room floor, surrounded by friends, was a highlight of the night. It was a time to relax, chat, and enjoy each other's company. Soda was another essential part of the sleepover experience. Brands like Coca-Cola and Pepsi were the go-to choices. The sound of cans popping open and the fizz of carbonation added to the atmosphere. Kids would sip on their sodas while talking about school, friends, and the latest trends. It was a chance to unwind and enjoy some sugary treats. As the night went on, the lights would dim, and it was time for movies. Horror films were a popular choice, adding a thrill to the evening. Movies like The Craft and Scream were often on the playlist. Watching these films together was both exciting and a little scary. Friends would huddle together under blankets, jumping at every suspenseful moment. The thrill of being scared in a safe environment was part of the fun. In between movies, games like Truth or Dare kept the energy high. These games were a way to bond and share secrets. Laughter filled the room as dares were completed and truths were revealed. It was a time to be silly and let loose, creating memories that would be talked about for weeks. As the night wore on, the storytelling began. Scary stories and urban legends were shared, often with the lights turned low. The tales of ghosts and mysterious creatures captured everyone's imagination. Kids would listen intently, hanging on every word. The stories added an element of mystery and excitement to the night. Sleepovers also provided a space for quieter moments. After the games and movies, friends would settle down, talking about their hopes and dreams. These conversations often happened in the early hours, when the world outside was quiet. It was a time to connect on a deeper level, strengthening friendships. The sleepover would eventually wind down, with friends falling asleep in sleeping bags scattered around the room. The sounds of soft snores and whispered conversations filled the air. In the morning, everyone would wake up to the smell of breakfast, ready to relive the night's adventures. For many, sleepovers were more than just a fun night with friends. They were a rite of passage, a chance to grow closer and create lasting bonds. The memories made during these nights became a cherished part of childhood, remembered fondly for years to come. In the 90s, pop radio was a staple in the lives of many teenagers. The radio served as a constant companion, playing the latest hits and setting the tone for daily life. Stations like Z100 in New York were at the forefront, broadcasting a mix of pop, rock, and emerging genres. The voices of DJs became familiar, offering a sense of connection and community. Each day, listeners tuned in to catch their favorite songs, often with fingers poised over the record button on their cassette players. Creating mixtapes was a popular activity during this time. Teens would sit by the radio, waiting for the perfect moment to press record and capture their favorite tracks. The process required patience and timing, as missing the beginning of a song could mean waiting hours for it to play again. These homemade compilations became personal soundtracks, reflecting individual tastes and emotions. Mixtapes were often exchanged between friends, serving as gifts or tokens of affection. The act of curating a playlist and sharing it added a personal touch to music consumption. The late 90s saw the introduction of CD burning technology, which revolutionized the way people created playlists. Suddenly, it was possible to compile a collection of songs on a single disc with ease. This new method of creating mixtapes allowed for greater customization and higher sound quality. As CD burners became more affordable, the popularity of homemade CDs soared. Teens could now include a mix of radio hits and tracks from their personal collections, expanding the range of music they could share. Television also played a crucial role in music culture during this decade. The launch of Total Request Live (TRL) in 1998 marked a turning point in how music was consumed. Hosted by Carson Daly, TRL quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The show aired daily, featuring the top 10 most requested music videos, as voted by viewers. Fans would call in or go online to cast their votes, influencing the countdown and engaging directly with the music industry. TRL provided a platform for artists to debut new videos and connect with fans. The show's format encouraged audience participation, making viewers feel like part of the action. Artists like Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys dominated the airwaves, their songs frequently topping the charts. Pop music was characterized by catchy melodies and polished production, appealing to a wide audience. The visual aspect of music became increasingly important, with artists investing in elaborate music videos to capture attention. These videos often featured intricate choreography and storytelling, adding another layer to the music experience. MTV's influence in the 1990s was undeniable. By this time, the network had firmly established itself as a powerhouse in the music industry. It was the go-to channel for the latest music videos, artist interviews, and music news. The network's reach extended beyond just playing music videos. It shaped trends, influenced fashion, and became a cultural touchstone for the youth. The network's programming was diverse and engaging. Shows like Total Request Live, known as TRL, became a daily ritual for many. Hosted by Carson Daly, TRL was more than just a music video countdown. It was an interactive experience where viewers could vote for their favorite videos. This allowed fans to feel connected to the music scene, as their votes directly impacted the show's content. The show often featured live performances and interviews, making it a must-watch for music enthusiasts. MTV's Video Music Awards, known as the VMAs, became one of the most anticipated events of the year. The awards celebrated the best in music videos, with categories recognizing various aspects of video production. Winning a VMA was considered a significant achievement for artists, as it highlighted their visual creativity and impact. The event was known for its memorable performances and unexpected moments, often becoming a talking point in pop culture. Celebrity interviews were another staple of MTV's programming. The network provided a platform for artists to share their stories, discuss their work, and connect with fans. Interviews with stars like Madonna and Nirvana offered insights into the lives of these influential figures. These segments allowed viewers to see a different side of their favorite artists, beyond the music videos and stage performances. Music videos themselves were a key component of MTV's success. The network showcased videos that were not just promotional tools but works of art. Directors and artists collaborated to create visually stunning pieces that told stories, conveyed emotions, and complemented the music. These videos often featured elaborate sets, choreography, and special effects, pushing the boundaries of creativity. MTV's impact extended beyond music. The network played a significant role in shaping fashion trends. Artists featured on MTV often became style icons, with viewers emulating their looks. The fashion choices of musicians like Kurt Cobain and Madonna influenced what was popular in clothing stores and on the streets. MTV's reach was such that it could dictate what was considered cool or trendy. The network also ventured into reality television, with shows like The Real World offering a new form of entertainment. This shift in programming reflected MTV's ability to adapt and innovate, maintaining its relevance in a rapidly changing media landscape. The introduction of reality TV added another dimension to the network's offerings, attracting a different audience and expanding its influence. In the 1990s, MTV was more than just a music channel. It was a cultural phenomenon that shaped the tastes and preferences of a generation. Its impact on music, fashion, and media was profound, leaving a lasting legacy that continued to influence the industry long after the decade ended. In the late 1990s, the pop music scene exploded with vibrant energy. Teenagers across the globe found themselves drawn to a new wave of pop idols. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and NSYNC emerged as the defining voices of this era. Their music, style, and charisma captivated audiences, making them household names almost overnight. Britney Spears burst onto the scene in 1998 with her debut single, Baby One More Time. The song was an instant hit, climbing to the top of the charts and staying there for weeks. The accompanying music video featuring Britney in a schoolgirl outfit became iconic. Teens everywhere tried to mimic her look, and her influence on fashion was immediate and widespread. Britney's image was plastered on posters, t-shirts, and magazine covers. Her fan base grew rapidly, with young girls seeing her as a role model and boys idolizing her as the ultimate pop star. Christina Aguilera followed closely behind, capturing attention with her powerful voice and dynamic stage presence. She released her self-titled debut album in 1999, featuring hits like Genie in a Bottle. Christina's vocal range and style set her apart, earning her critical acclaim and a Grammy Award for Best New Artist in 2000. Her music videos showcased her versatility, from sultry performances to high-energy dance routines. Christina's fashion choices, often bold and daring, influenced trends and inspired fans to embrace their individuality. NSYNC, a boy band formed in the mid-90s, quickly became a pop sensation. Their self-titled debut album, released in 1998, featured catchy tunes and harmonies that resonated with fans. Songs like I Want You Back and Tearin' Up My Heart became anthems for a generation. The group's synchronized dance moves and coordinated outfits added to their appeal. NSYNC's concerts were events, drawing massive crowds and creating a frenzy among their dedicated fan base. Teen magazines played a crucial role in the rise of these pop idols. Publications like Bop, Teen Beat, and Tiger Beat were filled with glossy photos, interviews, and exclusive content. Pull-out posters of Britney, Christina, and NSYNC adorned the walls of countless bedrooms. Fans eagerly anticipated each new issue, collecting articles and images of their favorite stars. These magazines provided an inside look into the lives of pop idols, fueling the fascination and admiration of young readers. Fan culture flourished during this time. Official fan clubs offered exclusive content, early access to concert tickets, and special merchandise. Fans wrote letters, attended meet and greets, and participated in contests to win memorabilia. Merchandise, from lunchboxes to backpacks, became a way for fans to express their devotion. The connection between pop idols and their audience was personal and intense, with fans feeling a sense of ownership and pride in their support. The impact of pop idols extended beyond music. Their influence on fashion, language, and lifestyle was significant. Catchphrases from songs entered everyday conversation. Hairstyles and clothing choices mirrored those of their favorite stars. Pop idols became cultural icons, shaping the tastes and preferences of a generation. Their music provided the soundtrack to countless lives, marking milestones and memories. In the early 1990s, Seattle became the epicenter of a musical revolution. The grunge movement, characterized by its raw sound and introspective lyrics, captured the spirit of a generation. Bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam emerged from the Pacific Northwest, bringing a new energy to the rock scene. Nirvana's Nevermind, released in 1991, was a game-changer. The album's lead single, Smells Like Teen Spirit, became an anthem. It resonated with youth, disillusioned by mainstream culture. The sound was gritty and authentic, a departure from the polished production of the 80s. Flannel shirts, torn jeans, and unkempt hair defined the grunge look. This style reflected the laid-back and rebellious attitude of the music. It was practical and accessible, resonating with fans who embraced a more down-to-earth aesthetic. The fashion was as much a part of the movement as the music itself. It signified a rejection of the flashy excess that had dominated the previous decade. Pearl Jam's debut album, 10, also released in 1991, further solidified the grunge scene. The band's sound was a mix of hard rock and introspective lyrics. Songs like Alive and Jeremy tackled themes of identity and struggle. Pearl Jam became known for their powerful live performances and connection with fans. Their music spoke to a generation searching for authenticity and meaning. MTV played a crucial role in bringing grunge to a wider audience. The network's Unplugged series showcased bands in a raw, acoustic setting. Nirvana's MTV Unplugged in New York performance in 1993 is legendary. The setlist included stripped-down versions of their hits and covers of lesser-known songs. It highlighted the band's versatility and emotional depth. The acoustic format allowed the lyrics and melodies to shine, offering a different perspective on the music. As the decade progressed, the grunge movement evolved into alternative rock. Bands like Soundgarden and Alice in Chains contributed to this shift. Their music retained the intensity of grunge, but explored new sounds and themes. Soundgarden's Super Unknown, released in 1994, was a critical and commercial success. It featured a blend of heavy riffs and complex arrangements. Songs like Black Hole Sun became staples of the alternative rock scene. Alice in Chains, known for their dark and brooding sound, also gained prominence. Their album Dirt, released in 1992, delved into themes of addiction and despair. The band's use of harmonized vocals and heavy guitar work set them apart. Their MTV Unplugged performance in 1996 showcased their ability to convey emotion through acoustic arrangements. The rise of alternative rock in the late 90s paved the way for new sounds and styles. Bands like Radiohead and Smashing Pumpkins pushed the boundaries of the genre. Radiohead's OK Computer, released in 1997, was a landmark album. It combined rock with electronic elements, creating a futuristic sound. The album received widespread acclaim and influenced a generation of musicians. Grunge and alternative rock left an indelible mark on the music landscape. The movement was about more than just sound, it was a cultural shift. It challenged norms and encouraged individuality. The legacy of this era continues to resonate, inspiring new artists and fans alike. In the 1990s, hip-hop and R&B emerged as defining genres of the decade, leaving an indelible impact on music and culture. The streets were alive with the sound of boomboxes blasting the latest tracks. These portable music players became a symbol of urban culture, often seen on street corners and in parks. They were loud, proud, and essential for anyone wanting to share music with friends or passers-by. Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. became the faces of hip-hop during this time. Their rivalry, often highlighted in media, was more than just a personal feud. It represented the broader East Coast versus West Coast hip-hop scene. Tupac's music was filled with raw emotion and social commentary. Tracks like Changes and California Love showcased his lyrical prowess and ability to address societal issues. His untimely death in 1996 sent shockwaves through the music world. The notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, was another powerhouse. His debut album, Ready to Die, was a critical success. Songs like Juicy and Big Papa became anthems. Biggie's storytelling ability and smooth flow set him apart. His influence extended beyond music, impacting fashion and lifestyle. Sadly, his life was also cut short, leaving a legacy that continues to influence artists today. R&B was equally dominant in the charts. Boyz II Men were among the leading acts, known for their harmonious vocals and romantic ballads. End of the Road was a massive hit, spending 13 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Their music brought R&B to a broader audience, blending traditional soul with contemporary pop elements. Car stereos became another essential for music lovers. Cruising with the windows down, bass thumping, was a common scene. Cars transformed into mobile concert halls, bringing music to life in a visceral way. Customizing car audio systems became a hobby for many, with competitions to see who had the loudest or clearest sound. Hip-hop and R&B were more than just music genres. They influenced fashion, with baggy jeans, oversized shirts, and baseball caps becoming popular. Language evolved too, with slang from songs entering everyday conversation. The culture celebrated individuality and self-expression, resonating with a generation seeking identity. The 1990s were a golden era for teen movies, capturing the spirit and challenges of high school life. These films became cultural touchstones, depicting the trials and triumphs of adolescence. They focused on universal themes like navigating hallways, dealing with crushes, and the excitement of school dances. The genre resonated deeply with young audiences who saw their own lives reflected on the big screen. Clueless was released in 1995 and quickly became one of the decade's defining films. It was a modern retelling of Jane Austen's Emma, set in a Beverly Hills high school. With its witty dialogue and vibrant fashion, Clueless captured the zeitgeist of the era. The film's protagonist, Cher Horowitz, played by Alicia Silverstone, became an icon. Her catchphrases and fashion choices influenced teens across the country. The film's portrayal of teenage life with its mix of humor and heart set a new standard for the genre. In 1999, 10 Things I Hate About You hit theaters. This film was a contemporary adaptation of Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. Set in a modern high school, it explored themes of love, rebellion, and identity. The film starred Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger, whose performances were praised for their chemistry and charm. The movie's witty script and memorable scenes, like the rooftop serenade, cemented its place in the teen movie canon. Dance scenes became a hallmark of 90s teen films. She's All That, released in 1999, featured an iconic prom scene. The film followed the story of a high school jock who bets he can transform a nerdy girl into prom queen. The dance sequence, set to a catchy pop song, was a highlight. It captured the excitement and drama of high school dances, a rite of passage for many teens. Teen movies of the 90s often featured relatable characters and social dilemmas. They tackled issues like peer pressure, identity, and the quest for acceptance. Films like The Craft explored the darker side of high school life, with its story of a group of outcast girls who dabble in witchcraft. The film's exploration of power and friendship struck a chord with audiences. The soundtracks of these films played a crucial role in their appeal. Songs from movies like Cruel Intentions and Empire Records became hits in their own right. These soundtracks helped launch the careers of several artists, as teens flocked to music stores to buy the latest albums. The connection between film and music was strong, with each enhancing the other's impact. Fashion was another key element of 90s teen movies. Films like Clueless and 10 Things I Hate About You showcased bold, trend-setting styles that influenced real-life high school hallways. From plaid skirts to oversized flannel shirts, the fashion choices in these films became part of the cultural lexicon. Teens emulated their favorite characters, adopting their styles and attitudes. Disney's second golden age in the 1990s marked a resurgence in animated storytelling. This era produced a series of films that captivated audiences with their enchanting narratives and unforgettable songs. The animation studio, under the leadership of key figures like Jeffrey Katzenberg and Michael Eisner, embraced innovation while honoring traditional animation techniques. In 1991, Beauty and the Beast graced the screens, becoming the first animated film to earn a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Picture. Its success was a testament to Disney's ability to blend romance, humor, and music seamlessly. The film's soundtrack, with songs like Be Our Guest and the titular Beauty and the Beast, became instant classics. The animation featured intricate details, from the grand ballroom scene to the expressive faces of enchanted objects. This film set a high standard for storytelling and animation quality. Following this, Aladdin debuted in 1992, introducing audiences to a vibrant world inspired by Middle Eastern folklore. The film was a visual spectacle, with its bustling market scenes and the dazzling Cave of Wonders. Robin Williams' performance as the genie brought a dynamic energy to the film, making it a standout character. The soundtrack, featuring A Whole New World, won numerous awards and became a defining element of the film's charm. Aladdin demonstrated Disney's ability to create diverse and engaging worlds. broadening the scope of animated storytelling. In 1994, The Lion King roared into theaters, quickly becoming one of Disney's most successful films. Set against the backdrop of the African savanna, the film's animation captured the majesty of the animal kingdom. The story of Simba's journey from cub to king resonated with audiences of all ages. Its soundtrack, composed by Elton John and Tim Rice, included hits like Circle of Life and Hakuna Matata. The film's themes of responsibility and redemption struck a chord, solidifying its place in cinematic history. The success of these films fueled the expansion of Disney's theme parks and merchandise. Theme parks introduced attractions based on popular films, allowing fans to immerse themselves in their favorite stories. Merchandise ranging from toys to clothing became widely available, further embedding Disney's characters into everyday life. This period saw Disney extending its influence beyond the screen, creating a multifaceted entertainment empire. Disney's animation style during this era emphasized lush visuals and detailed character design. The studio's commitment to hand-drawn animation resulted in films that were both visually stunning and emotionally resonant. Animators employed techniques that added depth and texture to scenes, enhancing the storytelling experience. This dedication to artistry ensured that Disney's films remained timeless and appealing to new generations. The 90s also saw Disney experimenting with different genres and storytelling approaches. Films like Pocahontas and The Hunchback of Notre Dame tackled more mature themes, showcasing Disney's willingness to explore complex narratives. These films, while not as commercially successful as their predecessors, demonstrated the studio's commitment to artistic growth and innovation. In 1995, Toy Story made its debut, marking a significant milestone in the world of animation. It was the first feature film to be entirely created using computer-generated imagery, CGI. Pixar Animation Studios, in collaboration with Disney, brought this groundbreaking project to life. The film's release was a turning point, not just for animation, but for the entire film industry. Toy Story introduced audiences to a world where toys come to life when humans aren't around. The story followed Woody, a cowboy doll voiced by Tom Hanks, and Buzz Lightyear, a Space Ranger action figure voiced by Tim Allen. Their journey from rivalry to friendship resonated with viewers of all ages. The voice performances of Hanks and Allen added depth and humor, making the characters memorable. The use of 3D animation in Toy Story was a technical marvel. Pixar's team developed new software and techniques to create realistic textures and lighting. This attention to detail gave the film a unique look, distinct from traditional hand-drawn animation. The animation style allowed for dynamic camera angles and movement, enhancing the storytelling experience. The success of Toy Story was not just a technological achievement. It was also a commercial hit, grossing over $350 million worldwide. The film's appeal lay in its engaging story, relatable characters, and innovative visuals. It received critical acclaim, earning several awards and nominations, including an Academy Award Special Achievement for its groundbreaking contribution to filmmaking. The impact of Toy Story extended beyond the movie theaters. It paved the way for the development of more 3D animated films. Studios began investing in CGI technology, recognizing its potential to create visually stunning and narratively compelling films. This shift led to a new era of animation, with films like A Bug's Life and Shrek following in its footsteps. The influence of Toy Story also reached the world of video games. The film's success spawned a series of video games that allowed players to immerse themselves in the toy world. These games expanded the franchise's reach, introducing the characters and story to a broader audience. The integration of film and gaming became a trend, with many animated films receiving video game adaptations. Pixar's rise to prominence as a leader in animated filmmaking was cemented by Toy Story. The studio's commitment to storytelling and innovation set a new standard in the industry. Pixar continued to produce successful films, each pushing the boundaries of what CGI could achieve. The studio's approach to animation influenced other filmmakers, inspiring a wave of creativity and experimentation. The charm of 3D animation lay in its ability to create lifelike characters and worlds that audiences could connect with emotionally. The technology allowed for a level of realism and expressiveness that was previously unattainable. This new form of animation captivated viewers, drawing them into stories in a way that felt fresh and exciting. As the 90s progressed, 3D animation became increasingly prevalent. Studios embraced the technology, leading to a diverse range of animated films that explored different genres and styles. The legacy of Toy Story was evident in the continued evolution of animation, as filmmakers built upon its foundation to create new and innovative works. In the 90s, family TV nights were a staple in many households. Families gathered around their television sets, creating a routine that brought everyone together after a long day. Sitcoms were the centerpiece of these evenings, offering a blend of humor and heart that resonated with viewers of all ages. Shows like Friends and Full House became household names, each offering a unique take on family life and friendships. Friends first aired in 1994 and quickly captured the attention of audiences. Its ensemble cast and witty dialogue made it a favorite among viewers. The show followed a group of friends navigating life in New York City, touching on themes of love, career, and friendship. The chemistry between the cast members was palpable, and their antics provided endless entertainment. The show's theme song, "I'll Be There For You" by the Rembrandts, became an anthem for the era, instantly recognizable from its opening chords. Full House, on the other hand, had been entertaining audiences since 1987. It concluded its run in 1995, leaving behind a legacy of family-friendly humor and life lessons. The show centered around the Tanner family, with widowed father Danny raising his 3 daughters with the help of his brother-in-law Jesse and best friend Joey. Each episode delivered laughter and heartfelt moments, often ending with a moral takeaway. The show's theme song, "Everywhere You Look," added to its charm, setting the tone for the wholesome content that followed. The 90s also saw the rise of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which brought a fresh perspective to the sitcom genre. Starring Will Smith, the show followed a street-smart teenager from Philadelphia who moved in with his wealthy relatives in Bel-Air. The contrast between Will's urban upbringing and the affluent lifestyle of his relatives provided endless comedic material. The show's theme song, performed by Smith himself, became iconic, summarizing the premise in a catchy and memorable way. Laugh tracks were a defining feature of sitcoms during this time. They guided audience reactions, emphasizing punchlines and comedic moments. While some critics argued that laugh tracks were unnecessary, they became a hallmark of the genre, creating a shared viewing experience. The laughter, whether genuine or canned, added to the sense of community among viewers, as if everyone was in on the joke together. Family TV nights were about more than just watching shows. They were a time for bonding and discussion. Families often prepared snacks from popcorn to homemade treats, enhancing the cozy atmosphere. After the episodes ended, conversations about the characters and storylines often ensued, allowing family members to connect over shared interests. The impact of these sitcoms extended beyond entertainment. They influenced fashion, language, and cultural norms. Catchphrases from shows like Friends entered everyday conversation, and characters became style icons. The popularity of these sitcoms also paved the way for future series, setting standards for humor and storytelling. In the early 90s, personal computers began making their way into households and classrooms. These machines were bulky, with large monitors and noisy keyboards. Yet they represented the future. For many children, this was their first encounter with technology that would soon become essential. The sound of a computer booting up, with its whirs and beeps, became familiar. Schools were quick to adopt this new technology. Computer labs emerged, filled with rows of machines. Students took turns learning to type, their fingers awkwardly finding their way across the keyboard. Typing classes became part of the curriculum. The goal was to prepare students for a world where typing would be as crucial as handwriting. Floppy disks were everywhere. These small, square pieces of plastic were essential for saving and transferring work. Each disk held a modest 1.44 megabytes of data. Students carried them in their backpacks, often labeled with their names. Losing a floppy disk meant losing hours of work. The phrase "save your work" became a mantra, repeated by teachers and parents alike. The release of Microsoft Windows 95 marked a significant shift. It introduced a user-friendly interface that made computers more accessible. The Start button and taskbar became central features. Navigating a computer no longer felt like deciphering a complex code. It was intuitive, almost like flipping through a digital book. Apple Macintosh computers were a staple in many schools. They were known for their colorful designs and ease of use. Educational software became a key feature. Programs like KidPix allowed children to explore their creativity. They could paint, draw, and create digital art. It was a new form of expression, merging traditional art with technology. Educational games played a significant role in computer labs. Oregon Trail was a favorite. Students learned about history and decision-making as they guided their virtual pioneers across the country. The game was both educational and engaging, making learning feel like an adventure. As computers became more common, they changed how students approached research and projects. Libraries still held a wealth of information, but computers offered a new dimension. Programs like Microsoft Encarta provided digital encyclopedias. Students could explore topics with a few clicks, accessing information that once required hours of searching through books. The introduction of computers also brought challenges. Technical issues were frequent. Frozen screens and error messages were common frustrations. Teachers often played the role of tech support, guiding students through troubleshooting steps. Despite these hurdles, the benefits of technology were clear. The presence of computers in homes and schools marked the beginning of digital literacy. Children learned to navigate this new world, developing skills that would become vital. The ability to type, search for information, and create digital content became foundational. It was a time of exploration and discovery, as students and teachers alike adapted to the digital age. The 90s saw the rise of America Online, AOL, as a key player in the burgeoning world of the Internet. AOL brought the online experience to the masses, making it accessible and user-friendly. For many, it was their first encounter with the digital world. The familiar sound of a dial-up modem connecting became a part of daily life. It was a series of beeps and static, a gateway to a new form of communication. AOL's "You've Got Mail" notification quickly became iconic. It was a simple phrase, but it held the promise of connection. Each new message was an opportunity to communicate with friends and family, or even strangers from across the country. Email started to replace traditional letters, offering a faster and more convenient way to stay in touch. Millions of users created accounts, eager to explore this new method of interaction. Chat rooms became a cultural phenomenon. They offered real-time conversations on a variety of topics. Users could join rooms based on their interests, from hobbies to favorite TV shows. It was a new way to meet people and share ideas. Conversations flowed freely, creating a sense of community among users. The anonymity of screen names allowed for freedom of expression. People chose names that reflected their personalities or interests, crafting unique online identities. The user-friendly interface of AOL was a significant factor in its success. It simplified the internet experience, making it accessible to people of all ages. The interface was intuitive, with easy navigation through icons and menus. Users could browse the web, send emails, and participate in chat rooms without feeling overwhelmed by technology. AOL's design helped demystify the internet for the average person. The internet was still a new frontier, full of possibilities and unknowns. AOL played a crucial role in shaping the early online landscape. It provided a platform for exploration and connection. Families gathered around computers to explore this new digital world together. Parents and children shared the experience, learning side by side. The rise of AOL and the internet in the 90s marked a significant shift in communication. People began to rely more on digital interactions. Email and chat rooms became integral parts of daily life. The ability to connect with others across great distances changed how people communicated and formed relationships. AOL's influence extended beyond just communication. It introduced users to a range of online services and content. From news and weather updates to games and shopping, the internet offered a wealth of information and entertainment. It was a new way to access the world, all from the comfort of home. The 90s were a time when the internet was just beginning to weave itself into the fabric of daily life. Dial-up connections were the norm, offering a gateway to the digital world at speeds that would seem glacial today. At the time, a connection speed of 56 kilobits per second was as good as it got for many households. This speed meant that patience was a virtue when browsing the web. Waiting for web pages to load was part of the experience, a small price to pay for access to the vast information available online. Connecting to the internet was an event in itself. The process began with the click of a button, followed by a series of sounds that became an auditory hallmark of the era. The whirring and beeping of the modem as it dialed up the internet was a familiar soundtrack in many homes. These sounds signaled the start of an online session, a mix of mechanical noise and digital promise. Once connected, users often relied on Netscape Navigator to surf the web. This browser was one of the first of its kind, offering a way to navigate the burgeoning online landscape. Browsing the internet with Netscape was an adventure. Each click was an opportunity to discover something new, whether it was a website dedicated to a favorite hobby or a page filled with the latest news. Creating personal web pages became a popular pastime, thanks to platforms like Geocities. These sites allowed users to express themselves creatively, offering space to share interests, photos, and thoughts. Geocities neighborhoods, with names like Hollywood or Athens, organized pages by theme, fostering a sense of community among users. Designing a personal page involved choosing backgrounds, adding text, and perhaps including a few animated GIFs for flair. It was a digital canvas for self-expression, limited only by imagination and bandwidth. The wait for pages to load was a shared experience among internet users. Watching the progress bar inch forward was a test of patience. Images appeared slowly, line by line, until the full picture was revealed. This delay, while sometimes frustrating, also heightened anticipation. Each successful load felt like a small victory, a reward for perseverance. Despite the slow speeds and frequent disconnects, the internet of the 90s was a place of wonder and exploration. It was a time when information was becoming more accessible, though not yet instant. The digital curiosity of users drove them to explore, learn, and connect in new ways. The internet was a vast, uncharted territory, and each session was a new journey. This era laid the groundwork for the internet as we know it today. It was a period of experimentation and innovation, where the seeds of modern web culture were sown. The slow, methodical pace of dial-up connections may seem quaint now, but it was a crucial step in the evolution of digital communication. The 90s were a time of discovery, where the sound of a modem connecting was the start of an adventure into the unknown. The 1990s marked a transformative period for the internet, changing how people accessed and shared information. In the early part of the decade, the World Wide Web browser, created by Tim Berners-Lee in 1990, laid the groundwork for how users would navigate this new digital landscape. This browser was basic, yet revolutionary, allowing users to view and interact with text-based content on a global network. As the decade progressed, more user-friendly platforms emerged, making the internet accessible to a broader audience. Geocities, launched in 1994, became one of the most popular platforms for personal expression online. It offered users the ability to create free personal websites, organized into neighborhoods based on themes like Hollywood or Tokyo. These neighborhoods fostered a sense of community among users with shared interests. Creating a Geocities site involved selecting a theme, adding text, and using basic graphics. The process was straightforward, encouraging creativity and personal expression. Around the same time, search engines began to emerge, providing new ways to find information on the web. Ask Jeeves, founded in 1996, introduced a question-and-answer format that set it apart from other search engines. Users could type in questions as they would ask a person, and Ask Jeeves would attempt to provide relevant answers. This approach made searching the web feel more intuitive and conversational, attracting users who were new to navigating the internet. Websites in the 1990s often had simple designs, reflecting the limited technology of the time. Pages typically consisted of text, basic graphics, and maybe a few animated GIFs. The focus was on content rather than visual appeal, as bandwidth limitations restricted the use of large images or complex layouts. Despite these limitations, early websites offered a sense of exploration and discovery. Each site was a window into the creator's interests, hobbies, or expertise. The concept of home pages gained popularity during this era. These personal online spaces allowed individuals to share their interests, showcase their work, or connect with others. Home pages often included links to favorite sites, personal updates, and guestbooks where visitors could leave comments. This interactivity was a precursor to the social networking features that would become standard in the following decades. As more people gained access to the internet, the variety and scope of content available online expanded. Websites dedicated to hobbies, news, entertainment, and education began to appear, offering users a wealth of information at their fingertips. This period saw the internet evolve from a niche technology into a mainstream tool for communication and information sharing. In the early 1990s, schools across the United States began to integrate technology into their educational environments. Computer labs became a common feature, providing students with access to personal computers. These labs were often filled with rows of desktop computers, each equipped with a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. The hum of machines and the clicking of keys became familiar sounds in schools. Students would spend time in these labs learning how to navigate the digital world. One of the most significant additions to school technology was Microsoft Encarta. Released in 1993, Encarta was a digital encyclopedia that offered a vast amount of information at the click of a mouse. It replaced the need for multiple volumes of printed encyclopedias. Students could search for topics, view images, and even watch videos. This multimedia approach made learning more engaging and interactive. Teachers often used Encarta to supplement lessons, allowing students to explore topics in greater depth. Another popular educational tool during this period was Oregon Trail. This computer game was widely used in classrooms to teach students about the challenges faced by pioneers traveling westward in the 19th century. Players had to make decisions about supplies, manage resources, and deal with unexpected events. The game was both educational and entertaining, capturing students' attention while teaching them about history and decision-making. Oregon Trail became a staple in computer labs, with students eagerly awaiting their turn to play. As technology became more prevalent in schools, there was a growing emphasis on digital literacy. Students learned basic computer skills, such as typing and using software programs. Typing classes were introduced, focusing on improving speed and accuracy. These skills were seen as essential for future academic and career success. Teachers incorporated technology into their lessons, using educational software to enhance learning experiences. Programs covered a range of subjects, from math and science to language arts and social studies. Interactive learning experiences became a key focus. Educational software allowed students to engage with content in new ways. Programs featured interactive quizzes, simulations, and activities that encouraged critical thinking and problem-solving. This hands-on approach helps students retain information and develop a deeper understanding of the material. The introduction of technology in schools also changed the way students conducted research. With access to computers and the internet, students could find information quickly and efficiently. Libraries began to offer digital resources alongside traditional books, expanding the range of materials available for research projects. The internet provided students with access to a wealth of information, but it also required them to develop skills in evaluating sources and discerning credible information. In the 90s, back-to-school shopping was an annual ritual that signaled the end of summer and the start of a new academic year. Families flocked to stores, lists in hand, eager to gather the necessary supplies. The aisles were filled with colorful displays, each promising the latest must-have items for students. Kids and parents navigated through rows of notebooks, pencils, and backpacks, each selection a small but significant decision for the coming year. Light-up shoes became a sensation during this period. Brands like LA Gear introduced sneakers that featured small lights embedded in the soles. With each step, the shoes would flash, creating a trail of light that captivated children. These shoes were more than just footwear. They were a statement. Kids would proudly show off their light-up sneakers on the first day of school, a symbol of style and modernity. Binders evolved from simple folders to sophisticated organizers, with zippered versions becoming particularly popular. These binders were not only functional, keeping papers secure, but also fashionable. Many came in bright colors or featured popular characters, allowing students to express their personalities. The zippered binder became an essential tool for managing schoolwork, with compartments for pens, pencils, and notes. Mood rings, a novelty item from the 70s, saw a resurgence in popularity. These rings, which changed colors based on the wearer's body temperature, were believed to reflect the wearer's mood. For young shoppers, mood rings were a fun and affordable way to accessorize. They added a touch of whimsy to the back-to-school shopping experience, with kids eagerly comparing the colors their rings displayed. The back-to-school season also meant sales and discounts. Retailers offered promotions on everything from clothing to stationery. Parents took advantage of these deals to stock up on essentials. For families, shopping trips became a bonding activity. Parents and children discussed choices, from the practicality of a sturdy backpack to the fashion-forward appeal of a new outfit. Stores were bustling with activity, and the excitement was palpable. The anticipation of a new school year combined with the allure of fresh supplies created an atmosphere of optimism. Kids imagined the possibilities that lay ahead, armed with the tools they needed to succeed. The back-to-school period also highlighted the influence of marketing. Advertisements targeted both kids and parents, showcasing the latest trends and innovations. Commercials featured catchy jingles and vibrant visuals, enticing viewers to seek out specific products. Catalogs arrived in the mail, filled with glossy images of happy children sporting the newest gear. In the 90s, children's bedrooms became a canvas for self-expression. The era saw a surge in personalized decor, with kids eager to transform their spaces into unique retreats. Glow-in-the-dark star stickers were a popular choice. These small adhesive stars were placed on ceilings, creating a celestial effect when the lights went out. As bedtime approached, rooms transformed into miniature night skies, sparking imaginations and often providing comfort for those afraid of the dark. Lava lamps also found their way into many bedrooms. These iconic lamps, with their slow-moving, colorful blobs, offered a soothing glow. They were more than just light sources. They provided a calming ambiance that was perfect for winding down after a day of school and activities. Available in various colors and styles, lava lamps became a staple in the bedrooms of the 90s, their gentle motion often mesmerizing those who watched them. Posters were another essential element of bedroom decor. Walls were adorned with images of favorite bands, movie stars, and athletes. For many, these posters were a way to display admiration and allegiance. Bands like Nirvana and pop sensations like the Backstreet Boys were common choices. Movie posters featuring the latest blockbusters also held a prominent place. These images not only decorated walls but also sparked conversations among friends who visited. Personalization was key. Kids took pride in making their rooms reflect their personalities and interests. Some preferred a minimalist approach, while others filled every inch of wall space. Themed bedrooms became a trend, with decor based on favorite television shows or color schemes. From sports themes to cartoon characters, each room told a story about its occupant. Beyond posters and lamps, other items contributed to the atmosphere. Beanbag chairs provided a comfortable spot for reading or playing video games. Shelves held collections of action figures, books, and trophies. Bedding choices often matched the overall theme, with comforters featuring everything from superheroes to floral patterns. The process of decorating a bedroom was often a collaborative effort. Parents and children worked together, choosing items that balanced practicality with personal taste. Shopping trips to pick out new bedding or posters became bonding experiences. Kids enjoyed the autonomy of making decisions about their space, while parents appreciated the opportunity to connect with their children's evolving tastes. The importance of personal space became more pronounced during this time. Bedrooms were not just places to sleep, they were havens for relaxation, creativity, and self-discovery. In a world that was rapidly changing, these personal spaces offered stability and familiarity. In addition to visual elements, other sensory aspects played a role in bedroom decor. Incense and scented candles added fragrance, while music from a stereo or boombox filled the air. These sensory experiences contributed to the overall atmosphere, making each room a true reflection of its inhabitant. Shopping malls in the 1990s were more than just places to shop. They were social hubs for teenagers. The sprawling complexes offered a mix of stores that catered to every taste and interest. Limited to Hot Topic, Claire's and Spencer's stood out as iconic destinations within these malls. Each store had its own unique appeal, drawing in crowds of eager teens. Limited to was a favorite among tween girls. It offered a wide range of clothing and accessories that were both trendy and age-appropriate. The store was known for its bright colors and playful designs. From graphic tees to colorful leggings, Limited to provided options that allowed young girls to express themselves. Accessories like hairbands, scrunchies, and glittery backpacks were also popular, making it a one-stop shop for back-to-school fashion. Hot Topic catered to a different crowd. It became the go-to place for teens interested in alternative fashion and music merchandise. The store's dark, edgy aesthetic was a stark contrast to the pastel hues of Limited to. Band t-shirts, studded belts, and chunky boots lined the shelves. Posters of rock bands and pop culture icons decorated the walls. Hot Topic was more than just a store. It was a cultural experience. It offered a sense of belonging to those who felt outside the mainstream. Claire's was another staple in the mall scene. Known for its jewelry and accessories, Claire's was a treasure trove for young girls. The store offered everything from earrings to necklaces, often with a focus on fun and whimsy. Piercing services were a major draw, with many girls getting their ears pierced for the first time at Claire's. The store's affordable prices made it accessible, allowing for frequent visits and impulse buys. Hair accessories like clips and bows were also popular, adding flair to any outfit. Spencer's Gifts rounded out the quartet of iconic stores. It was known for its novelty items and humorous gifts. The store's eclectic mix of merchandise appealed to teens with a sense of humor. Lava lamps, gag gifts, and quirky t-shirts were among the offerings. Spencer's was the place to find that perfect birthday gift or a unique item to decorate a bedroom. Its irreverent style made it a fun destination for those looking to browse and laugh. Beyond the individual stores, the mall experience was about more than shopping. It was a place to hang out with friends, grab a bite to eat, and maybe catch a movie. Food courts offered a variety of options, from pizza to pretzels, providing a convenient spot to refuel. Arcades and movie theaters often complemented the mall layout, offering entertainment beyond retail. For many teens, a trip to the mall was a weekend ritual. It was a chance to explore new trends, meet up with friends, and enjoy a sense of independence. The mall was a microcosm of teenage life in the 90s. It provided a space where young people could express themselves and connect with others. The stores within the mall became landmarks in this social landscape, each offering something unique to the adolescent experience. Fast food restaurants in the 1990s were more than just places to grab a quick bite. They became destinations for family outings, offering a blend of meals and entertainment. McDonald's, with its iconic Happy Meals, led the way in creating a dining experience that appealed to children. Each Happy Meal came with a toy, often tied to popular movies or TV shows. Kids eagerly anticipated these toys, which ranged from action figures to puzzles. The excitement of collecting each new toy made trips to McDonald's a frequent request among families. Pizza Hut introduced a different kind of incentive with its Book It program. This initiative encouraged children to read by rewarding them with free personal pan pizzas. Schools participated by setting reading goals, and children who met these goals received a certificate for a free pizza. This program not only promoted literacy but also made Pizza Hut a popular choice for family dinners. The combination of pizza and reading created a positive association, making the restaurant a staple in many communities. Collectible cups became another trend in the fast food industry. Restaurants like Burger King and Taco Bell offered cups featuring characters from blockbuster films. These cups were often part of limited-time promotions, prompting families to visit frequently to complete their collections. The cups adorned with images from movies like The Lion King or Jurassic Park became keepsakes for many. They added an element of excitement to the dining experience, transforming a simple meal into an opportunity to collect memorabilia. Promotions tied to movies were a significant strategy for fast food chains. When a new movie was released, restaurants often launched themed promotions. This synergy between the film and food industries boosted sales and created buzz. Kids were drawn to the idea of eating a meal that connected them to their favorite characters. Parents, in turn, appreciated the convenience and affordability of these meals. Family outings to fast food restaurants became a common weekend activity. The convenience of quick service and the appeal of kid-friendly menus made these establishments an easy choice for busy families. Many restaurants featured play areas, where children could burn off energy while parents relaxed. The combination of food, play, and collectibles created a welcoming environment for families. Pizza buffets also gained popularity during this time. Chains like Geocities Pizza offered all-you-can-eat options, attracting families with the promise of variety and value. Children enjoyed the freedom to choose their favorite toppings, while parents appreciated the budget-friendly pricing. The casual atmosphere of these buffets made them ideal for gatherings and celebrations. Walking into a Toys R Us in the 1990s was like entering a wonderland for children. The aisles stretched endlessly, filled with colorful boxes and enticing displays. Each section was dedicated to different types of toys, from action figures to dolls, board games, and puzzles. The stores were designed to capture the attention of young shoppers, with bright lighting and cheerful music playing overhead. Toys R Us was a giant in the toy industry. It was known for its vast selection and the iconic jingle, "I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid." Children would sing along, dreaming of the endless possibilities the store offered. In 1999, the company opened its flagship store in Times Square, New York. This location became a must-visit destination for tourists and locals alike, featuring interactive displays and exclusive toys. The store's Ferris wheel and life-size toy displays were highlights for visitors. KB Toys, another major player, had a different approach. Located primarily in shopping malls, KB Toys stores were smaller, but packed with a wide variety of items. The aisles were narrower, making the experience feel more intimate. KB Toys was known for its sales and clearances, often featuring exclusive items not found in other stores. Parents appreciated the deals, while children enjoyed the thrill of finding a new treasure. Holiday catalogs were a significant part of the toy shopping experience. Companies like Sears and JCPenney released thick catalogs filled with pages of toys. Children eagerly awaited these catalogs, flipping through the pages to create their wish lists. They would circle their favorite items, dreaming of what Santa might bring. Catalogs were often shared among siblings and friends, sparking conversations about the latest trends and must-have toys. Action figures were among the most popular toys of the decade. Characters from movies, TV shows, and comic books came to life in the form of plastic figures. Kids could recreate their favorite scenes or invent new adventures. Collecting action figures became a hobby for many, with rare and exclusive figures highly sought after. Lines like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and Star Wars dominated the shelves. Dolls also held a special place in the toy market. Barbie continued to be a beloved icon, with new outfits and accessories released regularly. The introduction of diverse dolls, like the Bratz line in the late 90s, expanded the market. These dolls offered children a chance to explore fashion and storytelling through play. Dollhouses and playsets complemented the dolls, providing endless hours of entertainment. Board games and puzzles were staples in family playtime. Classics like Monopoly and Scrabble remained popular, while new games like Catan began to emerge. These games encouraged social interaction and strategic thinking. Puzzles, ranging from simple designs to complex challenges, offered a quiet activity for rainy days or family gatherings. The toy industry in the 90s was marked by significant marketing efforts. Television commercials targeted young audiences, with catchy jingles and animated characters. Saturday morning cartoons often featured toy advertisements, seamlessly blending entertainment with marketing. Toy companies sponsored events and promotions, further ingraining their products into the cultural landscape. Retailers and manufacturers understood the power of nostalgia and imagination. They tapped into children's desires to explore, create, and collect. The result was a decade filled with iconic toys and memorable shopping experiences. The aisles of Toys R Us and KB Toys became stages for childhood dreams, and the catalogs were their scripts. In the 90s, fashion took on a vibrant and daring new direction. Youthful style was all about expressing individuality and embracing comfort. Windbreakers became a staple in many wardrobes. These lightweight jackets were perfect for outdoor activities, often featuring bold colors and eye-catching patterns. They were practical too, offering protection against wind and rain. Many people wore them as a fashion statement, pairing them with jeans or shorts for a casual, sporty look. Overalls made a strong comeback during this decade. Both boys and girls wore them, making overalls a versatile choice for various occasions. They could be dressed up with a nice shirt, or kept casual with a simple tee. The loose fit and durable fabric made them ideal for play and everyday wear. Overalls were often paired with sneakers, adding to the laid-back vibe that defined much of 90s fashion. Scrunchies were another iconic accessory of the time. These fabric-covered hair ties came in an array of colors and patterns, allowing individuals to coordinate them with their outfits. They were gentle on the hair and easy to use, making them a favorite among girls and women. Scrunchies were often worn on the wrist as a fashion accessory when not holding up a ponytail. Their popularity soared thanks to their appearance in movies and TV shows, where characters sported them as part of their everyday look. Snapback hats gained popularity, particularly among those influenced by hip-hop culture. These adjustable caps were known for their flat brims and bold logos or designs. They became a symbol of urban style, often worn backward or tilted to one side. Snapbacks were not just for casual outings, they were also a statement piece that added an edge to any outfit. Musicians and celebrities frequently wore them, further cementing their place in 90s fashion. The influence of television and music on fashion was undeniable. Shows like Friends introduced audiences to new styles and trends. Characters like Rachel and Joey became fashion icons, inspiring viewers to replicate their looks. The grunge movement, led by bands like Nirvana, also left its mark on fashion. Flannel shirts, ripped jeans, and combat boots became synonymous with the grunge aesthetic. This style emphasized a carefree, rebellious attitude that resonated with many young people. Bright colors and unique patterns were hallmarks of 90s fashion. Neon hues and geometric designs appeared on everything from clothing to accessories. This bold approach to color and pattern allowed for creative self-expression. People mixed and matched different styles, creating outfits that were as unique as the individuals wearing them. Comfort was a key component of 90s fashion. Baggy jeans, oversized shirts, and chunky sneakers were all the rage. These items provided ease of movement and a relaxed fit, aligning with the decade's casual vibe. The focus on comfort did not mean sacrificing style, though. Many fashion-forward individuals found ways to incorporate trendy elements into their everyday wear. In the 90s, recess was a time of joy and freedom for children across the United States. Schoolyards echoed with laughter and the sound of sneakers scuffling on asphalt. The playground was a haven, offering a break from the classroom and a chance to burn off energy. Swings were a favorite among many, providing the thrill of soaring through the air. Kids competed to see who could swing the highest, their feet reaching for the sky. Slides were another popular attraction. Some children raced to the top, eager to feel the rush of wind as they sped down. Climbing structures challenged young adventurers to test their strength and agility. These structures were often the centerpiece of the playground, drawing crowds of kids eager to clamber up and down. Recess games were a staple of this time, fostering both competition and camaraderie. Tag was a classic, with its simple rules and endless variations. It required speed and strategy, as children darted between obstacles, trying to avoid being tagged. Kickball was another favorite, combining elements of soccer and baseball. Teams formed quickly, and the game often continued until the bell rang. Foursquare was a game of skill and precision. Players took turns bouncing a ball into each other's squares, aiming to outmaneuver their opponents. Field days were special events that brought the school community together. These days were filled with excitement and anticipation. Sack races were a highlight, with participants hopping toward the finish line, trying to keep their balance. Tug-of-war tested strength and teamwork, as classmates pulled with all their might to claim victory. Relay races added an element of speed and coordination. Teams worked together, passing batons and cheering each other on. These events fostered school spirit and encouraged friendly competition. Gym class was an integral part of the school curriculum, introducing students to a variety of sports and activities. Basketball was a staple, teaching hand-eye coordination and teamwork. Many children learned to dribble and shoot, aspiring to be like their favorite athletes. Soccer was another popular sport, emphasizing agility and endurance. Students practiced passing and scoring goals, often playing matches against each other. Gymnastics offered a different kind of challenge, focusing on balance and flexibility. Children learned basic routines, developing confidence and physical literacy. The emphasis on physical activity during this decade contributed to the overall health and wellness of children. Schools recognized the importance of movement and play in childhood development. Recess and gym class provided opportunities for kids to develop motor skills and social connections. These activities encouraged a lifelong appreciation for fitness and teamwork. The playground was more than just a place for games. It was a social hub where friendships were formed and memories were made. Children learned important lessons about cooperation and fair play. They navigated the complexities of social dynamics, from choosing teams to resolving disputes. The playground was a microcosm of the larger world, offering valuable experiences that extended beyond the schoolyard. In the 90s, birthday parties for children were vibrant events filled with laughter and excitement. Skating rinks were a popular venue choice, offering a dynamic setting for celebrations. The sound of wheels gliding over the smooth rink surface mixed with upbeat music created an atmosphere of joy and energy. Children, often wobbly at first, quickly found their rhythm, moving in circles with friends. Skating games like the limbo or races added an extra layer of fun, with kids eagerly participating to show off their skills. Arcades were another favorite location for birthday parties. The allure of flashing lights and the cacophony of game sounds drew children in. Birthday packages at arcades often included tokens or cards loaded with credits, allowing kids to indulge in a variety of games. The thrill of winning tickets from games like skee-ball or whack-a-mole was unmatched. Children clutched their tickets, eagerly feeding them into machines to receive printed receipts. These receipts were later exchanged for prizes, ranging from small trinkets to coveted items like plush toys or gadgets. No birthday party was complete without cake and ice cream. Cakes often featured themes based on popular cartoons or movies, decorated with bright frosting and edible images. Candles were placed on top, ready to be blown out after the birthday song. Ice cream, a perfect complement to cake, was served in small cups or scooped onto plates, providing a sweet treat for everyone. The excitement of the birthday child was palpable as they made a wish before blowing out the candles, surrounded by the cheers of friends and family. Goodie bags were a beloved tradition at these parties. As guests prepared to leave, they received small bags filled with an assortment of goodies. These bags typically contained items like small toys, stickers, and candies. The anticipation of opening a goodie bag added to the party's excitement, with children eager to discover the surprises inside. Goodie bags served as a token of appreciation from the hosts, ensuring that every guest left with a memento of the celebration. Themed parties gained traction during this decade, allowing children to immerse themselves in their favorite worlds. Superhero and princess themes were particularly popular, with decorations, costumes, and activities tailored to the chosen theme. Hosts often went to great lengths to create an immersive experience. This might include hiring entertainers dressed as beloved characters, or organizing games that aligned with the theme. Such attention to detail made each party unique and memorable. Summer vacations in the 90s were a time of exploration and family bonding. Families packed up their cars, loaded with suitcases, snacks, and the excitement of the open road. The destinations varied. National parks offered breathtaking views and outdoor activities. Beaches provided sun, sand, and the soothing sound of waves. Amusement parks promised thrills and laughter. These trips were about more than just reaching a destination. The journey itself was an adventure. Long car rides were a staple of these vacations. Children piled into the back seats, surrounded by pillows and toys. The hum of the engine mixed with the chatter of family conversations. Parents took turns driving, navigating highways and back roads. Music played from the car stereo, a mix of radio hits and favorite tapes. The miles rolled by, each one bringing the family closer to their destination. Gas station stops were a welcome break from the monotony of the road. Families stretched their legs and refueled both the car and themselves. Inside, the aisles were lined with an array of snacks. Chips, candy bars, and soda were popular choices. These treats were a small indulgence, adding to the excitement of the trip. Children often debated over which candy to choose, their eyes wide with anticipation. Disposable cameras were a must-have for capturing memories. Parents handed them to their children, encouraging them to document the trip. Each click of the shutter captured a moment. A scenic view, a silly face, or a candid family photo. The anticipation of developing the film added to the excitement. Once processed, the photos served as tangible reminders of the adventure. Car games were a cherished part of the journey. I Spy and 20 Questions were favorites, engaging everyone in the car. These games sparked creativity and conversation, making the miles pass more quickly. Siblings often competed to see who could spot the most out-of-state license plates. Each sighting was a small victory, celebrated with cheers and laughter. The car itself became a temporary home. Blankets and pillows created cozy nests for napping. Books and coloring pages kept young hands busy. Parents navigated, planned routes, and kept an eye on the clock. The road stretched ahead, promising new sights and experiences. Arriving at the destination was a moment of relief and excitement. National parks offered trails to explore and wildlife to observe. Beaches invited families to build sandcastles and splash in the waves. Amusement parks beckoned with rides and attractions. Each day was filled with activities, from hiking to swimming to simply relaxing. Evenings were spent around campfires or in hotel rooms. Families recounted the day's adventures, sharing stories and laughter. Meals were a mix of picnics, local diners, and sometimes fast food. Each meal was a chance to refuel and plan the next day's activities. Halloween in the 90s was a time of excitement for children and families. Costumes were the highlight, with plastic masks of popular characters lining store shelves. These masks often came with simple costumes. They transformed children into superheroes, monsters, or cartoon characters. The masks were molded from thin plastic. They had elastic strings that held them in place. Breathing through them could be a challenge, but that didn't dampen the fun. Pillowcases were the preferred choice for collecting candy. They were sturdy and could hold a lot. Kids would set out in groups, moving from house to house in their neighborhoods. Each doorstep offered the promise of treats. The sound of laughter and footsteps filled the air as children compared their hauls. Candy bars, lollipops, and small toys filled the pillowcases. The goal was to collect as much as possible before the night ended. Decorations added to the spooky atmosphere. Fake cobwebs stretched across bushes and doorways. Skeletons and tombstones created eerie scenes in front yards. Some houses went all out, turning their homes into haunted attractions. Fog machines, strobe lights, and sound effects enhanced the experience. The creativity of homeowners made each street a new adventure. Halloween parties were a staple of the season. Friends gathered in costumes, ready for a night of games and treats. Bobbing for apples was a common activity. It was a test of skill and patience, trying to grab an apple with your teeth. Costume contests added an element of competition. Prizes were awarded for the scariest, funniest, or most creative outfits. Snacks and sweets were plentiful, with themed treats like spider cupcakes and ghost-shaped cookies. Watching Halloween-themed movies became a tradition for many families. Classics like Hocus Pocus and The Nightmare Before Christmas were popular choices. These films added to the festive mood, offering a mix of humor and fright. Families would gather in living rooms, lights dimmed, ready for a night of entertainment. The movies became a way to wind down after a busy evening of trick-or-treating. The excitement of Halloween extended beyond the night itself. In the weeks leading up to the holiday, stores displayed aisles of candy and costumes. Schools hosted fall festivals with games and activities for students. Pumpkin carving contests showcased artistic talents. The smell of roasted pumpkin seeds and the sight of jack-o'-lanterns on porches became familiar. Local communities often organized events to ensure safe trick-or-treating. Some towns hosted parades, where kids could show off their costumes. Others offered trick-or-treating in designated areas, providing a controlled environment. These efforts aimed to keep the holiday fun and secure for everyone involved. Christmas mornings in the 90s were a whirlwind of excitement and anticipation. Children across the country woke up early, eyes wide with wonder, ready to rush to the tree. The living room, often dimly lit by the glow of colorful lights, became a scene of joyful chaos. Wrapping paper, in vibrant reds and greens, covered the floor as kids tore into presents with eager hands. The sound of ripping paper and delighted squeals filled the air, creating a symphony of holiday joy. The build-up to Christmas morning started weeks in advance. Television screens were filled with commercials that captured the imagination of young viewers. Tickle Me Elmo, with its infectious giggle, became a must-have item in 1996. Furby, with its interactive features, captivated children in 1998. These commercials played repeatedly, embedding themselves in the minds of children who eagerly added these toys to their wish lists. Parents often faced the challenge of finding these coveted toys, sometimes lining up outside stores or calling around to locate the last available item. The hunt for the perfect gift became part of the holiday tradition. As Christmas morning approached, parents carefully wrapped these treasures, knowing the joy they would bring. The night before Christmas held its own special rituals. Many families gathered to read the night before Christmas, a tradition that set the stage for the magic to come. Stockings were hung with care, often filled with small treats and surprises. The scent of pine mingled with the aroma of holiday baking, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. Holiday music played a significant role in setting the festive mood. Songs like Jingle Bells and Silent Night filled homes, adding to the sense of wonder. Decorations adorned every corner, from twinkling lights on the tree to wreaths on the door. Each ornament held a story, a memory from Christmases past, contributing to the tapestry of family history. On Christmas morning, the unwrapping frenzy was a sight to behold. Children clad in pajamas dove into their piles of gifts, eager to discover what lay beneath the paper. The living room transformed into a sea of discarded wrapping, ribbons, and bows. Amidst the chaos, laughter and shouts of excitement created an unforgettable atmosphere. The gifts themselves varied widely. Some children found the latest action figures or dolls, while others received books, games, or clothing. Each present, regardless of size or value, held a special significance. It was a token of love and thoughtfulness, a reminder of the joy of giving and receiving. As the morning progressed, families gathered for breakfast, often featuring special treats like cinnamon rolls or pancakes. The day unfolded with a mix of relaxation and continued celebration. Some families ventured out to visit relatives, while others stayed home, enjoying the company of loved ones. The magic of Christmas morning lingered throughout the day. Children played with their new toys, creating adventures and stories. The holiday spirit extended beyond the gifts, fostering a sense of togetherness and gratitude. For many, these moments became cherished memories, a reminder of the joy and wonder of Christmas in the 90s. In the 1990s, sports culture was a thriving part of everyday life for kids and teens. Trading cards became a staple of childhood collections. Baseball and basketball cards were especially popular, with brands like Topps and Upper Deck leading the market. Each card was a piece of a larger puzzle, a part of a team or a player's history. Kids would trade cards during recess or after school, hoping to complete sets or find that one elusive rookie card. The thrill of opening a new pack was unmatched, with the scent of fresh ink and cardboard adding to the experience. Video games also played a huge role in bringing sports to life at home. Titles like Madden NFL and NBA Jam became household names. These games allowed players to step into the shoes of their favorite athletes and compete in virtual arenas. Madden NFL, with its realistic gameplay and team rosters, became a must-have for football fans. NBA Jam, on the other hand, offered fast-paced, arcade-style basketball action, complete with over-the-top dunks and catchphrases. The games were often played with friends, turning living rooms into competitive battlegrounds. Starter jackets emerged as a fashion statement. These jackets, emblazoned with team logos and colors, became a way for young fans to show their allegiance. Whether it was the Chicago Bulls or the New York Yankees, wearing a starter jacket was a badge of honor. The jackets were not just about warmth, they were about identity and pride. Kids would wear them to school, to the mall, and even to bed, refusing to take them off. The influence of sports figures cannot be overstated. Icons like Michael Jordan and Ken Griffey Jr. dominated headlines and inspired a generation. Jordan's prowess on the basketball court and his endorsements made him a household name. His shoes, the Air Jordans, became a cultural phenomenon. Ken Griffey Jr., with his smooth swing and charismatic personality, brought excitement to baseball. These athletes were more than just players, they were heroes to many young fans. Sports-themed birthday parties became the norm. Kids celebrated their special days with games and activities centered around their favorite sports. Parties might include a trip to a local batting cage or a basketball shootout in the driveway. Decorations featured team colors, and cakes were often shaped like balls or jerseys. Party favors included miniature trading cards or sports stickers, ensuring that the theme carried through every detail. Events such as Little League games and school sports days kept children engaged in physical activity. Participation in these events was about more than just winning. It was about teamwork, learning new skills, and having fun. Parents and coaches encouraged kids from the sidelines, fostering a sense of community and support. Trading cards, video games, and fashion all played a part in creating a vibrant, interconnected world of sports. Young fans found ways to engage with their favorite teams and players, whether through collecting, playing, or simply watching. The decade left a lasting impact on those who grew up during this golden age of sports enthusiasm. In the 1990s, video game systems became a fixture in homes across the country. The Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, was already a household name by this time. It laid the groundwork for what was to come. Gamers were soon introduced to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES, in 1991. It brought with it a new level of graphics and gameplay. Titles like Super Mario World and The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past became instant classics. These games offered expansive worlds and engaging storylines, captivating players for hours on end. The Sega Genesis, which launched in 1989, gained popularity with its own set of iconic games. Sonic the Hedgehog emerged as a standout, with its fast-paced action and memorable music. Sonic became a mascot for Sega, rivaling Nintendo's Mario. The Genesis was known for its edgy marketing campaigns, often targeting older children and teenagers. This console offered a different flavor of gaming, and its library grew to include a variety of genres and styles. In 1996, the Nintendo 64 hit the market, bringing with it the dawn of 3D gaming. Super Mario 64 was a groundbreaking title, showcasing the potential of three-dimensional graphics. Players could explore vast open worlds with a freedom not seen before. The Nintendo 64 also introduced The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which quickly became one of the most acclaimed games of all time. The console's design, with its unique controller and colorful cartridges, set it apart from its predecessors. Video game rentals became a popular option for those who wanted to try new games without committing to a purchase. Stores like Blockbuster offered a wide selection of titles, allowing gamers to explore different genres. Renting games became a weekend tradition for many families. It provided an opportunity to discover new favorites and share experiences with friends. Gaming magazines played a crucial role in the gaming community. Publications like Nintendo Power and GamePro offered reviews, tips, and strategies. They became essential reading for enthusiasts looking to improve their skills or find hidden secrets in their favorite games. These magazines fostered a sense of community among gamers, connecting them through shared interests and experiences. Multiplayer gaming also gained traction during this time. Consoles offered new ways for friends and family to play together. Whether it was racing in Mario Kart or battling in Street Fighter, these games brought people together. Local multiplayer sessions often became lively events, filled with laughter and friendly competition. In the 90s, the living room became a battleground for friendly rivalries. Couch multiplayer gaming was at the heart of this social shift. Families and friends gathered around the television, controllers in hand, ready for action. The release of Mario Kart 64 in 1996 marked a turning point. Players could now race head-to-head, navigating colorful tracks filled with obstacles and power-ups. The game's split-screen mode allowed up to 4 players to compete simultaneously, turning races into chaotic, laughter-filled events. GoldenEye 007, released in 1997, took multiplayer gaming to new heights. This first-person shooter introduced split-screen deathmatches, where players could choose from a variety of characters and weapons. The game's levels were based on the James Bond film, offering diverse environments for battles. Its multiplayer mode became legendary, with players devising strategies and forming alliances. The thrill of sneaking up on a friend or landing a perfect shot created unforgettable moments. These games fostered a sense of camaraderie and competition. Siblings often faced off in heated matches, each determined to claim victory. Friends gathered for gaming parties, where the living room transformed into a digital arena. Snacks and drinks were essential, fueling long sessions of play. Pizza boxes and soda cans often littered the floor, evidence of the hours spent immersed in virtual worlds. The accessibility of multiplayer gaming made it a staple of social gatherings. Consoles like the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation offered easy setup and play, This convenience encouraged spontaneous gaming sessions, where anyone could join in. Even those new to gaming found themselves drawn into the fun, thanks to the intuitive controls and engaging gameplay. Competition was fierce, but so was the sense of connection. Players shared tips and tricks, helping each other improve. They celebrated victories and laughed off defeats, forging bonds through shared experiences. The games became a backdrop for storytelling, with players recounting epic matches and close calls. These stories were retold at school and family gatherings, becoming part of the social fabric. The impact of couch multiplayer gaming extended beyond the living room. It influenced the development of future games, with designers recognizing the importance of social interaction. Games like Super Smash Bros. And Halo built on this foundation, offering new ways for players to connect. The legacy of 90s multiplayer gaming can still be seen today, as online gaming communities thrive. Handheld gaming in the 90s was a game changer. The Nintendo Game Boy, introduced in 1989, quickly became a sensation. It was portable, allowing players to carry their games anywhere. The design was simple, with a small screen and a few buttons. Yet it opened up a world of possibilities for gamers. Titles like Tetris captivated players with its addictive puzzle mechanics. The Game Boy was more than a device. It was a companion on long car rides and family vacations. Pokémon Red and Blue hit the shelves in the late 90s. These games transformed the Game Boy into a cultural phenomenon. Players could catch, train, and battle Pokémon, creating a sense of adventure. The link cable allowed for trading and battling with friends, adding a social element. Pokémon became a playground topic, with kids discussing strategies and sharing tips. The Game Boy's role in this craze cemented its place in gaming history. Tiger Electronics carved its niche with handheld LCD games. These devices were smaller and simpler than the Game Boy. Each game was self-contained, featuring characters from popular franchises. Kids could play as their favorite superheroes or cartoon characters. These games were affordable and easy to use. They required no cartridges, just a few batteries. The simplicity made them accessible to younger players. Batteries were the lifeblood of handheld gaming. The Game Boy required 4 AA batteries, while Tiger games often used smaller ones. Running out of power mid-game was a common frustration. Parents stocked up on batteries to keep the devices running. Rechargeable batteries became a popular solution, saving money in the long run. The phrase "batteries not included" became a familiar warning on packaging. Handheld gaming was not limited to the car or home. Devices were seen everywhere, from schoolyards to waiting rooms. Kids played during recess, comparing high scores and sharing games. The portability allowed gaming to become a part of daily life. It was no longer confined to the living room or arcade. Handhelds offered a personal gaming experience, tailored to individual preferences. The success of the Game Boy and Tiger Electronics inspired other companies. Sega released the Game Gear, boasting a color screen. It aimed to compete with the Game Boy but struggled with battery life. Atari's Lynx also entered the market, offering advanced graphics. Despite these innovations, the Game Boy's simplicity and game library kept it on top. Its dominance was a testament to Nintendo's understanding of the market. Handheld gaming in the 90s laid the groundwork for future developments. It showed that gaming could be personal and portable. The lessons learned from this era influenced the design of later devices. The Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo DS built on this legacy, offering new features and experiences. The impact of 90s handheld gaming is still felt today, as mobile devices continue to evolve and capture new audiences. In the late 90s, Pokémon took the world by storm. The trading card game, introduced in Japan in 1996, quickly made its way to the United States. Children everywhere were eager to collect and trade cards featuring their favorite Pokémon. The cards became a staple in schoolyards, with kids gathering during recess to compare collections and swap duplicates. The competitive nature of the game added to its appeal. Players strategized to build the best decks, challenging friends to matches that could last for hours. The animated series debuted in the United States on September 8, 1998. It followed the adventures of Ash Ketchum, a young Pokémon trainer, and his loyal Pikachu. The show captivated audiences with its engaging storylines and memorable characters. Each episode introduced viewers to new Pokémon, sparking curiosity and excitement. Children across the country tuned in to watch Ash's journey, eager to see which Pokémon he would encounter next. The first Pokémon video games, Pokémon Red and Green, were released in Japan in 1996. These games allowed players to step into the shoes of a Pokémon trainer, exploring a vast world filled with creatures to catch and train. The games were designed for the Nintendo Game Boy, making them accessible to a wide audience. The ability to trade Pokémon with friends using a link cable added a social element, encouraging interaction and collaboration. Pokémon merchandise quickly became a hot commodity. Toys, clothing, and accessories featuring popular characters flooded store shelves. Children wore Pokémon-themed apparel, carried lunchboxes adorned with Pikachu, and decorated their rooms with posters of their favorite creatures. The demand for Pokémon products was insatiable, with new items constantly being released to keep up with the craze. Trading card tournaments became popular events, drawing large crowds of enthusiastic fans. These gatherings provided opportunities for players to showcase their skills and compete for prizes. Tournaments fostered a sense of community among participants, who shared a common passion for the game. The excitement of battling in a competitive setting added to the allure of the Pokémon phenomenon. Pokémania extended beyond the playground and into popular culture. The franchise's influence was evident in various forms of media, from television commercials to magazine features. Pokémon became a household name, recognized by people of all ages. The cultural impact of the franchise was undeniable, shaping the interests and experiences of a generation. The success of Pokémon in the late 90s laid the foundation for its continued popularity. The franchise expanded into new territories, introducing spin-off games, movies, and additional series. Its ability to adapt and evolve ensured its place in the hearts of fans worldwide. As the 90s came to a close, Pokémon remained a beloved and enduring part of childhood. In the 90s, anime began to carve out a niche in the US entertainment landscape. Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z were at the forefront of this movement. Sailor Moon first aired in the United States on September 11, 1995. It quickly became a favorite among young girls. The show followed the adventures of Serena Tsukino, a teenage girl who transforms into Sailor Moon to fight evil. With its blend of action, friendship, and romance, Sailor Moon captivated audiences. The show's colorful animation and strong female characters resonated with viewers, making it a cultural touchstone. Dragon Ball Z made its US debut in September 1996. It quickly gained a following among boys and girls. The series chronicled the adventures of Goku and his friends as they defended Earth from powerful foes. Known for its intense battles and dramatic story arcs, Dragon Ball Z kept viewers on the edge of their seats. The show's blend of action, humor, and fantasy elements appealed to a wide audience. Its characters, such as Vegeta and Piccolo, became iconic figures in pop culture. Toonami, a programming block on Cartoon Network, played a crucial role in the rise of anime. Launched in 1997, Toonami showcased a variety of anime series. It increased accessibility to the genre for American audiences. Toonami's lineup included shows like Gundam Wing, Outlaw Star, and Tenchi Muyo. This exposure helped anime gain mainstream popularity. Toonami's host Tom guided viewers through the lineup, creating a unique viewing experience. The block's success demonstrated the growing demand for anime content. Merchandise for popular anime series became widely available. Action figures, clothing, and posters featuring beloved characters filled store shelves. Fans could express their love for their favorite shows through these products. Collectible cards and video games based on anime series also gained popularity. These items allowed fans to engage with the stories and characters in new ways. The demand for anime merchandise reflected the genre's growing influence in the U.S. Anime conventions began to rise during this period. These events provided a space for fans to gather and celebrate their shared interests. Conventions featured panels, screenings, and cosplay competitions. Fans dressed as their favorite characters, showcasing their creativity and passion. These gatherings fostered a sense of community among anime enthusiasts. Conventions like Anime Expo and Otakon became annual highlights for fans. They offered opportunities to meet creators and voice actors, deepening the connection to the shows. In the 1990s, daytime talk shows became a defining part of American television. These programs drew in millions of viewers with their mix of drama, humor, and celebrity gossip. The Oprah Winfrey Show, which first aired in 1986, was a standout among them. By the 90s, Oprah had become a household name. Her show featured a blend of inspirational stories, celebrity interviews, and self-help advice. Oprah's ability to connect with her audience made her show a cultural phenomenon. Her influence extended beyond television, impacting book sales and public discourse. The Jerry Springer Show debuted in 1991 and quickly gained notoriety. Known for its controversial topics and outrageous guests, it became a symbol of tabloid television. The show often featured heated confrontations and shocking revelations. Despite criticism, it attracted a large audience, eager to witness the drama unfold. Jerry Springer's approach to talk shows was unconventional, yet it resonated with viewers seeking entertainment and spectacle. The Rosie O'Donnell Show launched in 1996, offering a different flavor of daytime television. Rosie combined humor with celebrity interviews, creating a light-hearted atmosphere. Her show often included musical performances and audience participation. Rosie's charm and wit made her a beloved figure in daytime TV. Her giveaways and playful interactions with guests added to the show's appeal. Celebrity gossip became a staple of daytime talk shows during this era. Programs frequently discussed the latest Hollywood news and scandals. These segments fed the public's fascination with celebrity culture. Talk shows provided a platform for stars to promote their projects and address rumors. The blend of gossip and entertainment news kept audiences engaged and informed. Fashion trends were also influenced by daytime talk shows. Hosts and guests often showcased the latest styles, inspiring viewers to emulate their looks. The visibility of certain brands and designers on these shows contributed to their popularity. Daytime television became a space where fashion and celebrity culture intersected. Societal discussions were often sparked by topics covered on talk shows. Issues such as relationships, health, and personal growth were explored in depth. These conversations resonated with viewers, who saw their own experiences reflected on screen. Talk shows provided a forum for discussing important social issues, reaching a wide audience. The format of daytime talk shows varied, but the core elements remained consistent. Hosts engaged with their audiences through interviews, panel discussions, and interactive segments. The shows created a sense of community among viewers, who tuned in regularly for their daily dose of entertainment and information. In the 90s, the public's fascination with royalty and celebrity relationships reached new heights. Princess Diana stood at the center of this attention. Her humanitarian efforts and personal life were constant subjects of media coverage. Diana's work with charities and her candid approach to issues like mental health and landmines endeared her to millions. Her style and grace were often highlighted, making her a fashion icon. However, her personal struggles were equally publicized, with her marriage to Prince Charles frequently under the spotlight. The tragic death of Princess Diana on August 31, 1997, shocked the world. The car accident in Paris led to an outpouring of grief across the globe. People gathered outside Kensington Palace, leaving flowers and tributes. The media coverage was intense, with news outlets dedicating extensive airtime to her life and legacy. Diana's funeral was watched by millions, marking a moment of collective mourning. Tabloids in the 90s thrived on celebrity gossip and royal news. Publications often featured cover stories about high-profile romances and breakups. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt were among the most talked-about couples. Their relationship, beginning in the late 90s, became a staple of tabloid headlines. The public's interest in their romance was fueled by their status as Hollywood stars. Madonna and Sean Penn's tumultuous relationship was another focal point. Their marriage, marked by intense media scrutiny, ended in a high-profile divorce. The tabloids followed every development, from their passionate beginnings to their eventual split. Such stories captivated readers, who were eager for details about the personal lives of celebrities. Royal events during this decade also drew significant attention. The wedding of Prince Edward and Sophie Rhys-Jones in 1999 was a major event. The ceremony, held at St. George's Chapel in Windsor, was attended by members of the royal family and watched by millions on television. The couple's relationship, seen as less controversial than others, was warmly received by the public. The allure of celebrity and royal life extended beyond relationships. Lavish weddings, extravagant lifestyles, and personal dramas were all part of the narrative. Magazines and television shows dedicated segments to these stories, feeding the public's curiosity. The fascination with these figures highlighted the blend of admiration and voyeurism that characterized the era. The 90s also saw the rise of celebrity weddings as major media events. Couples like David and Victoria Beckham captured the public's imagination. Their 1999 wedding was a spectacle, complete with a gold thrones and a castle venue. Such events were meticulously covered by the press, with details of the guest lists and attire eagerly consumed by fans. The coverage of celebrity relationships and royal affairs often blurred the line between news and entertainment. This era underscored the power of media in shaping public perception. The stories of love, heartbreak, and intrigue provided a form of escapism, allowing people to engage with the lives of those in the spotlight. The fascination with these narratives continued to evolve, reflecting broader cultural shifts and the enduring appeal of celebrity culture. In the 90s, news headlines captivated the world with stories that ranged from sensational trials to political dramas. The O.J. Simpson trial was one of the most watched events of the decade. It began with the shocking news of the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman in June 1994. The subsequent arrest and trial of O.J. Simpson, a former football star and actor, became a media spectacle. The trial, often referred to as the trial of the century, was broadcast live on television, drawing millions of viewers. People were glued to their screens, watching every twist and turn. The dramatic car chase involving Simpson in a white Ford Bronco was a particularly memorable moment. It was followed by months of courtroom drama, culminating in a not guilty verdict in October 1995. The trial sparked debates about race, celebrity, and the justice system in America. Another major news story of the decade was the impeachment of President Bill Clinton. The scandal began with allegations of an inappropriate relationship between Clinton and a White House intern, Monica Lewinsky. The story broke in January 1998 and quickly dominated headlines. The investigation led by independent counsel Kenneth Starr resulted in a detailed report outlining the allegations against Clinton. In December 1998, the House of Representatives voted to impeach Clinton on charges of perjury and obstruction of justice. The trial in the Senate began in January 1999 and ended in February with Clinton's acquittal. The impeachment proceedings were widely covered by the media, with commentators analyzing every development. The scandal had a significant impact on Clinton's presidency and American politics. In July 1999, the disappearance of John F. Kennedy Jr.'s plane captured the world's attention. Kennedy, the son of former President John F. Kennedy, was piloting a small aircraft with his wife Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and her sister Lauren Bessette on board. The plane went missing off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. The search and rescue operation was extensively covered by the media, with updates on the efforts to locate the plane and its passengers. Tragically, the wreckage was found days later, and all three were confirmed dead. The loss of Kennedy, a beloved public figure, was deeply felt across the nation. The Elian Gonzalez saga was another headline-grabbing story. In November 1999, 5-year-old Elian Gonzalez was found off the coast of Florida, clinging to an inner tube after his mother and others perished while trying to reach the United States from Cuba. The custody battle that followed became a major political issue, with Elian's Miami relatives and his father in Cuba both seeking custody. The case highlighted tensions between the U.S. and Cuba and was broadcast live on television, with images of federal agents seizing Elian from his relative's home in Miami becoming iconic. The boy was ultimately returned to Cuba in June 2000. The figure skating scandal involving Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan was another unforgettable moment of the decade. In January 1994, Kerrigan was attacked at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Detroit. The assault was orchestrated by Harding's ex-husband and her bodyguard, aiming to eliminate Kerrigan as a competitor. The incident drew massive media attention, with both skaters becoming household names. Harding's involvement in the plot led to her being banned from the sport. The scandal blurred the lines between sports and tabloid drama, capturing the public's imagination. These stories, among others, defined the news landscape of the 90s. They were discussed in living rooms, offices, and public spaces, shaping conversations and leaving a lasting impact on society. As the calendar flipped to 1999, anticipation for the new millennium was palpable. The year was marked by the looming presence of the Y2K bug. This potential glitch in computer systems was due to the way dates were programmed, often using only the last 2 digits of the year. As the year 2000 approached, fears grew that systems might interpret the year as 1900, causing widespread failures. This issue was not just a technical concern but a cultural phenomenon that captured public attention. Businesses and governments around the world scrambled to address the Y2K problem. Companies poured resources into updating software and hardware. Professionals worked tirelessly to ensure systems would transition smoothly into the new year. The media played a significant role in amplifying these concerns. News outlets frequently reported on potential scenarios, ranging from minor inconveniences to catastrophic failures. Discussions about the possible impacts on infrastructure, such as power grids and banking systems, were common. Despite the anxiety, there was also a sense of excitement as the century drew to a close. Major cities prepared for New Year's Eve celebrations that promised to be grander than ever. In New York City, Times Square was the focal point for a massive gathering. The iconic ball drop was set to be accompanied by a spectacular display of fireworks. Similar events were planned in cities across the globe, each vying to outdo the others in welcoming the new millennium. Retailers capitalized on the millennium fever. Stores stocked merchandise emblazoned with Y2K and millennium themes. People bought commemorative items, from t-shirts to champagne flutes, eager to have a piece of history. Some even purchased survival kits, just in case the worst predictions came true. The market for these goods reflected both the fears and the festive spirit of the times. In the months leading up to December 31st, the focus on Y2K intensified. Governments issued statements to reassure the public that measures were in place to handle any disruptions. Airlines conducted tests to ensure flight safety. Banks reassured customers that their financial data was secure. Despite these efforts, uncertainty lingered. As the clock ticked down to midnight on December 31st, 1999, people gathered to celebrate. In homes, bars, and public squares, the atmosphere was electric. As the new year dawned across different time zones, reports trickled in. One by one, countries announced that they had entered the year 2000 without major incidents. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief. The transition was not just a technological milestone but a cultural one. The Y2K bug, once a source of dread, faded into history as a testament to human ingenuity and preparedness. The new millennium began with fireworks lighting up the night sky, marking not just the end of a decade, but the dawn of a new era. The celebrations continued into the early hours, a global party welcoming the future. The 1990s were a time of vibrant cultural shifts and personal growth. Music, television, and fashion left an indelible mark on those who lived through the decade. The sounds of grunge, pop, and hip-hop filled the airwaves, each genre contributing its unique voice. Bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam brought raw energy, while pop icons like Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys dominated the charts. Hip-hop artists like Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. became cultural icons, their influence extending beyond music into fashion and language. Television played a central role in shaping the era. Sitcoms like Friends and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air became part of the weekly routine for many families. These shows offered humor and relatable storylines, creating shared experiences among viewers. Cartoons like Rugrats and The Simpsons entertained children and adults alike, providing a mix of entertainment and subtle social commentary. Meanwhile, MTV redefined music consumption with its music videos and countdown shows, becoming a cultural touchstone for teenagers. Fashion in the 90s was a blend of bold colors and casual comfort. Flannel shirts and baggy jeans reflected the grunge aesthetic, while neon colors and windbreakers captured the playful spirit of the decade. Scrunchies, overalls, and snapback hats became wardrobe staples, each item contributing to the eclectic style of the time. The influence of pop culture was evident in clothing choices, with television and music stars often setting trends. Personal milestones also shaped the memories of the 90s. Graduations marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Family vacations offered a chance to explore new places and create lasting memories. Summer camps and school events provided opportunities for social connections, fostering friendships that often lasted a lifetime. These moments, big and small, contributed to the rich tapestry of personal experiences that defined the decade. Nostalgia for the 90s became a recurring theme in media as the decade progressed. Retrospectives celebrated its impact, highlighting the cultural and technological advancements that occurred. The internet began to change the way people communicated and accessed information, laying the groundwork for the digital age. Early websites and chat rooms introduced a new form of social interaction, while personal computers became more common in homes and schools. As the millennium approached, there was a sense of hope and curiosity about the future. The transition to the year 2000 was more than just a change in the calendar. It was a moment of reflection on the past and anticipation of what lay ahead. People looked back on the 90s with fondness, remembering the experiences and connections that shaped their lives. The decade was a mosaic of memories, each piece contributing to the larger picture of a generation. From the music that defined the soundtrack of their lives to the personal milestones that marked their journeys, the 90s left an enduring legacy. The friendships formed, the cultural moments experienced, and the personal growth achieved all became part of the story of those who lived through this transformative time.